Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hollis-tics. I'm your host, Hollis Mahady. And again, this is Hollis-tics, in case you didn't know, in case this is your first time here. Well, I'm very excited today. We have a special guest with us, and not only a special guest, but it's a musical guest, one of my favorite kind of guests, because we get to talk about music, one of my favorite subjects, which you guys know I talk about all the time. And it's been a minute. June 1st. I can't believe it's June 1st already. Summer is officially here. I am wearing my dress. Here comes the sun. And our guest is actually from Las Vegas. So he knows a little bit of something about the sun. And before we bring on Lord Thaddeus, I'm going to say very quickly how this came to be, because usually I'm on there all week talking about the guest is coming, but it's kind of a last minute guest, because I was scrolling through my Facebook feed and I saw him pop up. And we'll get into more. I guess we'll save the story for when he comes, because we had a brief encounter in Las Vegas and we were about to work together. And then a little something called COVID happened, and it just threw all our best laid plans were out the door. So it was something that never really came to be, unfortunately, because I had to move home to Scranton. I had to leave the sun, which sucked. And actually, where's my hat? I found my Las Vegas hat, so I'll save that. Maybe I'll pull it out and put it on, because that was my souvenir and I still have it from Las Vegas. But yes, so I was scrolling through my feed and I saw Lord Thaddeus popped up. Well, I know him as Thaddeus, and I saw he had a new single out called Blackheart, and I listened to him like, this is really awesome. I love it. And then I listened to the lyrics. He was talking about the game of life, and I said, hey, sounds a little bit familiar. If you guys are familiar with my single, if you went and downloaded it, came out a couple weeks ago, Covers, I talk about that. I even use the chessboard, and he does too. So I said, you know what? I think that I'm going to ask him if he wants to come on the show. And he said yes. And here he is. He's backstage. So getting into that, before we start the show and we bring Thaddeus up, I do have a song. We're going to talk about it and we'll play it in a little bit, so you guys can get a vibe. He's going to tell us all about his independent music and his releasing his song. And he has lots of music coming out. But first, the housekeeping in order here. I am Hollis Mahady. You can see my website there, hollismahady.com. As you can see, there's a QR code there, just in case you're new here and you are feeling generous. Tips support the show. I'm an independent artist. I do this for free out of the kindness of my heart, and just because I like to entertain and I love to, communicate, to connect with people here. And we have a great time. We have our regulars who come in here. So we'll get to the comments in a little bit, see who's in the chat room tonight. But again, that QR code links you right to the buymeacoffee.com. So I always said, hey, I was a bartender I wasn't a bartender in Las Vegas. I was a waitress. I worked in a casino for a while, but I'd pour a drink. Everyone would give me $1. It's a lot harder to get tips on a podcast. People think, we're in a consumption culture. So people just consume, and they don't realize, hey, it costs money to do this stuff. The StreamYard costs money. It's $80 freaking a month. So when you're not making any money, you're losing money. But anyway, that's where you can go, buymeacoffee.com. You could sign up and become a member and get a lot of exclusive stuff, because I have my next single coming out Friday. Amnesia is coming out June 5th. My dad's birthday. God bless you, Dad. I picked that day especially because that is his birthday and he's up watching over us. So I know he would be proud of me. And so that will be out. But yes, we have a lot in common, Thaddeus and I. We're both releasing new music, and he's going to talk all about it. I'm going to shut up. Don't worry. In a minute here. I'm going to shut up. But I also been working on my album for years and years. Actually, when I met Thaddeus in Las Vegas, I was working on my original then. And how many years ago was that now? 6, 7? I don't know. We'll talk about the dates. But it's a long time. So we're both also, I always say we're the OGs. We've been here for a while. So we're living through the split and the shift of AI, but back when it wasn't AI. So I get into all that stuff. So without further ado, I'll shut up and we'll get our lovely guest up here. You ready? He's in the backstage. I can see him there. Okay, we're going to bring him up on stage. Let's see. And remember, I produce my own show. So I don't have a board op. I don't have anyone. I do it all myself. So sometimes it's a little slow. Blame me. Oh, Hollis, let's get Lord Thaddeus. He's waiting patiently back there. Ready? Oh, before I put him up, I like to have my applause. Hold on. I like to put my little applause button. Here it comes. Okay, here it comes. There he is, Lord Thaddeus. Am I saying it right? Thaddeus? Or is it Thaddeus?
It's Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Hi. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Well, thanks for coming on to Hollis-tics.
That's cool. You're doing great. This is a cool show. You're doing good. That's cool.
Thank you so much. It's kind of crazy because this is the first time I've seen you since I left in during COVID, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. That was in when did that 2020? So 6 years ago.
Yeah, the time flies.
Oh my gosh, I recognize. Is it that the same studio? You're in the same house?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll tell the audience real quick. When we were gonna start, I was gonna join a band. We are gonna do some cover shows and play in casinos and everything. Right. And then shit hit the fan and all of our plans went out the door. Well, you were still there. Because you're lucky. Are you from Las Vegas originally?
No, but I've been here now 20 years.
Oh, okay. I miss it. I did love Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's a great city. This is they call the city of entertainment, and they're not wrong. There's so many entertainers who live here. This place is just jam packed of talented people. It's amazing. And Hollis knows, because of that reason, it's not easy even getting a gig here because it's
Right.
competitive. But anyway, but there's just so many great artists that actually live here now. It's cool. It's a cool culture. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I was so disappointed. And I also remember you do video production as well, right? So you do I'm sure you edit all your own videos and you create this whole thing. I'm just assuming, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, and I just remember I was so excited. We went to like a casino. What was it? It was one like MGM or something. And I was doing a video and I have a picture of it and everything. And I was all going to become behind the scenes and learn all this camera stuff. I was so excited. And then like I said, it all just went, COVID hit. I had to move back home to Scranton.
Oh yeah. No, we actually did. Remember with what was that show called? It was Richard's show. And we went and shot the guitarist from Guns N' Roses. What was his DJ Ashby? And do you remember that?
Yes.
DJ Ashby? Yeah. Remember we did the multi-camera shoot for that? So he's the guitarist from Guns N' Roses. And then we did also, what was that guy who was on MTV all the time? Ty or something or whatever was his name? I forgot.
I don't remember.
Anyway, do you remember that too?
No, I remember the DJ Ashford thing because I had a picture with him, and I don't. But who was the other one? No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, you remember it was over to his garage. He had a big, huge RV kind of garage with a boat in it, and he's famous. He was that famous motorcycle or not motocross bike racer guy that broke his body, whatever.
I have no idea what his name is, but now I am remembering. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were running around with celebrities, shooting celebrities. Yeah, I'm actually now the manager of video production at T-Mobile Arena now.
Wow.
So, we right now we got the Golden Knights in the finals, and yeah, I mean I'm dealing with broadcast all the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, yeah, but it's cool. And then I still do a lot of video stuff. I do all my videos, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because you know what I said, I saw, and I have it. We'll play it in a little bit so the audience can hear what your sound and everything. I loved your lyric video for Black Card, and I saw that on your wall, and I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to start now. It's like right now, I have a cousin named Barbie, and she's really intelligent, really cool person. But she was checking out my releases, and she was like, I wanted to hear the lyrics better. So I decided to do a lyric video, and then I just started thinking about it and going, oh, you know what? I should promote off the lyric videos because people want to see what the lyrics are. They want to, when they're listening to a song.
Yeah.
So I've kind of made a new thing where every release I'm doing, I'm going to release a lyric video with it at the same time, and I'm going to promote off the lyric video because I want people to hear the song and I want them to see the lyrics.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's funny you said that because that's literally, and I'm sure you understand this, Thaddeus. I would say you're an independent artist, right? Like I don't know. I'm assuming. Do you do mostly everything yourself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot. So my to-do list is like out the butt, it's like a huge notebook full of stuff. And I literally like lyric videos for everything, but I do everything website, that's the age we're in. And we could get into that too. I talk a lot about music in the show, AI, and it's, how it it's definitely a different game because you've been in the music industry. I mean, you've been doing music for many years before AI's come along, right?
Oh, certainly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been doing this really since the late '80s. Really, if you want to get back, I'm
Yeah.
an elder goth.
You what?
I said I'm an elder goth.
You're an elder goth. Yeah. Like, and yeah, we could talk about it because it's like, I think it's really interesting because me too. Like, when I lived in Hollywood, I was in the music industry. This was, I mean, I'm not that old, I guess, but like when I really started, it was before YouTube. I was in CBGBs playing in New York City. Like, when I first started, I was like 18. There wasn't American Idol, there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't anything. So I think it's interesting. That's why I like to have older musicians on because, or you know what I mean? Like, just to compare and to show like we're literally living through this shift and split. And I talk about it a lot. Like, there's definitely a lot of pros, but there's a lot of like cons too, because now everybody and their mother and brother could make music, and it's like people don't buy albums and this and that, and it's just, so it's a weird thing to live through. Do you find it challenging, or do you think are you like adapting to it?
When I look at it, we talk about it all the time, and to me, when you look at it from a kind of a macro perspective, like for instance, 100 years ago, radio was just literally coming out, right? And so for the 20s and the 30s and 40s and 50s, there was a lot of money in production, audio production. And in fact, actually, the government was paying songwriters to write Christmas songs. And there was a lot of, they had orchestras that were able to get paid. And there was a lot of money in radio back in the day. And there was, anyway, then it came like the 50s and 60s, rock and roll comes out. And record companies started really making a lot of money. Then they started doing what were development deals. That's how like the Eagles or even like Steely Dan were products of studio musicians that were put together by their record companies in the 70s. And they had development deals. And then we come into the 80s and the money start, whatever, they're trying to increase profits, whatever. So development deals start going away. And in the early 90s, development deals were kind of, record companies weren't developing bands as much as all. And we had a recording revolution that occurred in the 90s. We had digital recorders came out back in the 80s, and before you had to go into big studios, pay a ton of money for recording time. Those big 2-inch tapes were like $250. It was for only 30 minutes of recording time. Yeah. It was expensive to record back then.
Oh yeah.
And then in the late 90s, you got ADATs and DA88s come in, and then you have Pro Tools and non-digital nonlinear digital editing, and it was a game changer. And now people can record from like the 2000s to now, great in their own homes. And now we've hit now the final culmination of it all, where we have Suno and Ace Music and all kinds of different AI apps where it'll make the music for you.
Yeah.
And, in fact, actually, Suno's got a version 5.5 where if you record your vocals into it, it will even sing for you. And then Ace Music has got on their app thing, I can actually go into that sack and sing a part and have it come out in a female vocal. And you just pick the theme of the female vocal that you like. It's got different choices. And anyway, so yeah, we are at a point where I think personally, I think it's what's going to separate the artists essentially is those who can actually go and perform, and those who can't. Then they're just more like the stay at home, make a song, and throw it on Spotify kind of deal, and they'll get 100 maybe views over 5 years or something. I don't know. Yeah. And there's going to be a lot, and I don't want to be negative about that. Sure, have a ball. I want to be encouraging to all people on their musical endeavors.
Yeah. No. It's
but
okay.
I think the separation is going to be the people that can actually integrate and make your artist great enough to where people will want to see you and pay to see you, and then make your money in the performance level. And I think music essentially is being valued where it was like back in the 50s and 60s, it was super valuable, and now it's like I think going to be worthless.
And you know what? I talk about this so much on here, and you made a great point, about being able to go live and do that. It's hard. Like, I think the biggest advantage, obviously, is that now what you said, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You don't have to you could program drums. You could do this. There's a lot of debate about it. It's like, okay, Suno, how many Spotify tracks are like a month? It's like, or a day, it's like 70,000 Spotify tracks like by AI every day. So you're like competing against these robots, but maybe you're not, it's just like you said, the real artists and the people who have been doing it for so long, some of them get mad. Or like someone would be like, wow, I spent years learning how to sing. I spent years learning how to write. I know how to play the piano. And now it's just like, oh, so some artists are like, man, that sucks. But I mean, what can you do? You kind of have to adapt. And like you said, it'll be the people who be able to go live and like put on a show and everything. And it's just the times have changed. There's always been gatekeepers. The good thing about here now is that now everybody has access to these. The bad thing is that everybody has access to these. So anyone good is not. It's hard to break through. How the hell do you break through? You have to pay for advertising. You have to pay for boost. You have to pay. So it's the same. I say now the algorithm and the app is the gatekeeper. I mean, it's the same BS. Now you're like, okay, yeah, I could actually. I recorded my whole album. I did my website. I could do everything myself. It burns people out. It's too much. There aren't artist development deals anymore, like you said. There's no money, so it's even harder. I feel like you're right, like about music becoming valueless. There's so much of it that it's just like, people, why should I pay for it? I'm not going to pay for it. And people forget that there are still real artists who actually dedicate their life to it. So it's a weird time to be alive. And I found myself navigating it because I've just literally put my first song from my album out 2 weeks ago. And now it's just like, well, I know no one's ever going to buy it, but now it's just like, will you listen to it? And I feel like sometimes I feel very cringe about it on TikTok. Oh my God, I have to do this and for people to listen to it. And I'm just like, I don't know. So it's just sometimes it's like you have to play the game, but then it's like, do I really want to play that game? Or do you want to just make music? But if you don't push it and you don't like promote it, no one will ever hear it. So it's a weird thing, right?
That's why I think, and I've heard this from other artists, larger artists, that you need to focus on, first off, I think for people who want to spend the time making music and doing this kind of thing, you need to identify who your audience is first. That's your kind of, who are you speaking to? And who are you singing to? And are you doing dance music? Are you rocking out? What do you do? And then once you identify that, then you want to build a following in that genre, and then from there, if you can build, you can make money. I have a friend who is a hip hop artist, fairly famous hip hop artist, and he talks about all the time. He goes, "All you need is 1,000 people, man."
Mm-hmm.
He says all the time.
I say that all the time. I always say quality over quantity, because in this world now, the 1,000 fan model and all that, it really is. I say people are obsessed with views and numbers, and it means nothing. Like I have some videos that made some of my podcasts got really big numbers. I didn't get any money for. I mean, people are obsessed with views, and I'm like, I would rather 100 quality people who are willing to pay $10 a month. That's $1,000 a month. That's gonna pay for my music studio. It's gonna pay for some promotion. Because we're focused on. But I do find it harder this day and age for people to build a following, because everybody and their brother and mother are doing music and everyone's asking for money. So I think it's hard. Not people's fault. I think they're also overwhelmed because they have so many choices. So, but I agree with you. And I say that here. It's all about, I say quality over quantity. I'm not trying to be a rock star and make millions of followers. Who cares about followers? It's like, you want to find the right people who are going to connect with your music. And you do want people to hear it. I mean, you do it for yourself. And I mean, I do it because I love it. But I also think in this day and age for an artist, you can't just be for money, because I think it's very hard. It's even harder than it used to be to make money. But maybe I just haven't cracked the code yet.
Yeah. I think we're going to hit a period of time here coming up, I think, where there's not going to be a lot of people trying to do this, because this is not a great business to get into. If you are into the business for the dough, this is not exactly the thing to do.
Oh,
go into the finance industry. There's a lot of money in finance.
And then you could fund your
yeah,
hobby or your business or whatever. No, you're totally right. Because, I was like in the real music industry for many years. When I met you, I had a big manager. I did all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, great. Now, not great, but all that happened. I'm like, well, now I could record my own album. It took me years. It cost me so much money. And now I'm like, no one buys albums. No one cares. No one's ever going to hear it. I'm like, it's like ironic, the timing. I'm like, but again, hey, whatever. I think you just accept it. And I always say, I think that's even why it's still important for people like you and me and the people who are like I say older, because it's true. I mean, I think it is still important for people to create and to keep that last human aspect of it, because people are already saying like they can't tell, is that real? Is that AI? Is that your real voice? You just said you could use people's voices and like we don't even know. So I think people like us are important.
Yeah, I hope I'm not coming across negative. I like the technology. I think it's incredible what can be done. And I have been using AI in my music videos for a little bit now. I have a buddy who's probably going to watch this, Mark. He was helping doing some of the music videos I've done like in the past couple of years. We were adding some little AI video clips in there. And they were fun. We're literally just playing with it. Really is what and that is, I think, from my older perspective, we're playing with technologies. We're having fun.
Yeah, you
that be the part of it is we're trying to create when I'm trying to create a song, I want a song that people like and enjoy it and maybe can relate to it and I think I'm actually hitting a good point right now. I'm hearing some really cool, positive feedback from a lot of even family members, and to me that's just part of the fun. And I do actually have some really cool songs coming out that haven't been released yet, and I've got a couple that are like, oh, this is good. Even my wife is like one, oh, that's a good one. So who knows? You never know, but. She was even saying, "Oh, you should get somebody famous to do it." I'm like, yeah, thanks. But to me, it's like, hey, if anybody wants to cover one of my songs, go ahead, please do. You have permission. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's just accepting it, not like fighting the old. Even for me, it's weird because tonight we're on episode 32. So, but I started this podcast like a couple months ago. And I literally just had the revelation not that long ago, but it's just like, you just have to accept, like, it's different now. It's changed. Don't fight it. Don't have fun with it. Like I said, you have to do other stuff to make money. I mean, it would be nice after freaking 20 years, like to make something, but you could just kind of accept it and have fun with it and use these tools. Like even the video tools. I mean, even just from a year ago, like AI is so much better. I'm just like, oh my God, the stuff that it can do. And if you can use it to make your life easy. We talk about it on the show a lot. Like there's a fine line. Like, I'm never going to use it to sing for me. I mean, that would be a waste. Like I will use my own voice, but when it comes to videos, hell, it's pretty freaking cool. And it's like, oh my God, I'm in control. You don't need a record label. You need anyone, really. You might not ever make any money, but hey, like you said, it's a crapshoot either way. It's no different than back in the day. Oh, I'm going to make it big. And I say this because we're trying to make it. You're always trying to make it. But now we are just making it to make it. You know what I mean? Like we can still just making it. That's always what it meant. But like now when there's really maybe a very, very slim chance to make it, who will still make it? Will people make it because they just enjoy creating? It wasn't really a question, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. In fact, actually, what I'm thinking, this may sound really funny, but I like to enjoy and be fun with this whole thing too. I mean, there is a serious side to my music, but there's also I have also a funny side to me too. Anyway, and so I'm thinking to myself, somebody in the future could easily upload a lot of my audio voice to Suno like right now, and they could actually start making after I die, Lord Thaddeus could continue on.
That's right.
It could still be, the character could be an AI in the music videos, and the whole. It could just, maybe I should brand it and then sell it as a business model. And then, some 20-year-old buys it when I'm about ready to retire, and then he just keeps on the Lord Thaddeus character going. Yeah.
There you go. Like anything's possible these days. It's like almost like now
funny, but it could be. Who knows?
leave something behind. Like I say, when we leave the earth, we're leaving art and music, and and we're enjoying doing it. And that brings me to a question. So let's talk about, because I love your song, and we'll play it in a couple minutes here. But before that, I want to ask you, Lord Thaddeus, where did that come from? I know Thaddeus is your name, so why Lord? And also, how long have you been doing this stuff, like this style, and these, like you said, you had been working on the album for a couple of years, and now you're releasing them all kind of like at once or every couple of weeks? Or you tell me your process and what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, back in 2023, I released a CD called Skeletons in the Closet, and it's more of a goth rock kind of CD. And the reason why it's called Skeletons in the Closet is because these are songs that I had been working on in my studio here for years and years and years. And so that's, anyway, and there's some really cool songs on there. And I had Les Warner, the drummer from The Cult, playing drums on it. And it's Tony Lewis from out of New York mixed it. And it was a great CD. Actually, there's a lot of really cool songs on that CD. And but after that CD was done, we did a few shows, and then Maria Mar, she is the lead singer of the band OMNIMAR.
Yeah, I looked her up after, because I wasn't sure until you said that, and I researched what you sent me and stuff. That's cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, Maria is in OMNIMAR. They're in the world of the dark wave scene in Europe. She's a star. She's famous. She has like 9 million views on her song out of this. Anyway, so she's big, or in this genre, and she lives in Moscow, Russia. And we did 2 songs. We actually did 3 songs together, but 2 got released for sure. And first one was I'll sleep when I'm dead. It was a cool song, and we did that together. And so because she's kind of a dark wave artist, we went with like the digital drum sound. We didn't use less on that, and went more kind of dark wave as opposed to being more goth rock, with the real drums and everything.
Right.
And then we did another song, and then another song. So because I was kind of going with this dark wave kind of mode, I just kind of kept that kind of flowing. And definitely using more synthesizer. I've always been using synthesizer. All my songs back,
Yeah.
I use piano, synthesizer all the time. But definitely using more of it on this, a lot of the songs that are coming out now. It's very, very dark wave-ish. But it's dark wave-ish it's not like the monotone dark wave style. But it does have a dark kind of gothy vibe to it. I still have guitar in it. I still have, but it's digital drums, it's more produced that way. Yeah.
And how did you hook up with Maria? Like, how did you find her?
Great question. I had become, familiar with her music, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I also found out that she was a duo, and I also found out that they separated, and she was kind of like, I don't know if she was in a downtime, but she was definitely in a changing time, and so I just reached out by email, and then it didn't happen immediately, but like a month later, I got an email back from her, and she was like, hey, I checked out your music, and she goes, hey, I like it, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so then we just decided to do the songs together, and it was really, she was really fantastic to work with. She's really cool person, and so yeah.
That's cool. So if she was obviously in Moscow, she didn't come to Las Vegas. Did you do this all over digital, or did she come to Las Vegas?
No, we were trying to get her to come to Las Vegas.
Right.
Not so easy.
Yeah.
Americans really aren't allowed in Russia. They're allowed, but it's Yeah, it's not easy.
It's so funny. I was literally last night watching this horror movie, and it was like set in Moscow. What was it called? I forget. Something escape room or something. But it was like, oh my god! And they're you Americans, and I don't know. So, but anyway, you did it all over the computer and everything. Did you meet
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
your
I
room or?
record here in my studio, and then I'd really just mix it down. During the demos, I just mix it down to 2 tracks, send it off to her, and she would take it in her studio, and she would sing, you know, multi tracks to that, and then she would send me back the stems from her recordings. Then I'd put the stems back in, you know, and add them to the whole package, and voila, you know.
Yeah. See, that's a good thing about technology. It's pretty amazing when you think about that. Like you got to make this whole song with her she's from Russia. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, even in the music video too, for I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, I shot my stuff here, she shot her stuff there, and we just kind of mixed it all together, and then it looks like we're together, but
Yeah.
you know.
Pretty amazing. So let's say I have your song Black Card here. So I'm gonna take a little quick commercial break, and then I'll come back, and how about we play it so I won't get to hear what you sound like.
That sounds cool.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll be back. One second. You're watching Hollis-tics, and I am your host, Hollis Mahady, and I just put your banner up there. I don't know if you could see it. Check out Lord Thaddeus. I have your Spotify here, right?
Cool.
I'm not sure if you're anywhere else or any other links.
Yeah, I got Bandcamp is really probably my favorite. Also Facebook is cool. Or Instagram, any of those.
Okay, so and they can find. Is it at Lord Thaddeus? Just at your some. Okay.
Yeah, the Instagram's Lord Thaddeus Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. I gotta follow you on there. I don't think I'm following you there. And there's this Spotify there. I uploaded that there. All right, guys. So we'll be right back, and we're gonna listen to a little Lord Thaddeus. Then we'll talk some more about his new single and all the rest of the songs. I have a couple more questions, and in the chat room, we'll see if we have any. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Hello, Shannon is in the room, and Aaron's there, and we will be right back after this quick commercial break. See, I'm Hollis. Hollis, cue up commercial. Hollis. Oh, there. Okay. She got it. You got it? Okay, here it comes. Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen. We're under amnesia. They got us forgotten who we are. It's a spell that we're under, cast from the start. It's time to remember. And that is my new single coming out on Friday. And just in case you need some other music, don't forget, need some new tunes to listen to? Why not try the Hollis Mahady Music Collection? As I move towards the new, I'm closing an old chapter with gratitude. To celebrate the new music on the horizon, I've gathered my complete past collection and made it available all in one place. The collection includes 2 full albums with my previous band, Love Zombies, Passion Fruit, and No Slow songs recorded live at Abbey Road Studios, the Be Honest EP with Love Zombies, Hollis original songs, Hollis cover songs, a bonus Christmas album. And this collection represents the journey that brought me here today and the doorway into what's next. To purchase the music collection, head over to hollismahady.com and go to the store. All funds raised go directly towards promoting and advertising my new album on my own label, Voice of Freedom Records. Thanks so much for supporting independent music. When you're truly independent, creating music isn't just art, it's devotion. It's late nights, long days, and pouring your own time, energy, and money into something you believe in, something you feel called to bring into the world. Right now, the world is overflowing with content, music everywhere, so much of it generated in seconds by machines. And somewhere in that noise, real artists are fighting to be heard. The ones who spent years learning their craft, the ones who turned their pain into songs, the ones who kept going when it would have been easier to quit. Most people scroll past without thinking about the soul behind the sound. But if you ever find music that moves you, that heals something in you, that makes you feel less alone, remember, there's a real person behind it. Because good music isn't noise. It's something sacred. If you discover music that speaks to you, support the people who made it, if you can. And there you go, guys. And we are back. I am Hollis-tics, and you are watching Hollis-tics. As you can see there, I am very much a big advocate of the independent artists. And I know, and I always say, support if you can, guys. And I do say buy the music because Lord Thaddeus, we are in the studio here with Lord Thaddeus. He's in his studio in Las Vegas. I'm actually here in Cleveland, Ohio. And he has a Bandcamp as well. So it's Lord Thaddeus on Bandcamp. They just type in your name and it should come up, right?
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I always say, if you can't, go ahead and buy the song. Buy the song. People, you could download it for free. But I always say, remember, there's a soul behind the song, and it helps. Every dollar helps. 1,000 fan mode. There you go. Right? 1,000 fan model.
And I also if I am really very I just love it if people enjoy my music. So I'm not stressed about the dough. And so I tell people all the time, hey, email me or message me. I will send you any one of my songs for free. I don't care.
There you go. Okay, good. So maybe they could because a lot of times there's an option like pay what you want, or like you don't have to pay it all. Sometimes it's free. I give away some for free.
Yeah, my Bandcamp, I think almost all my songs are free. And so, they try to hustle you for 99 cents or $1.50 or something, but you can download it for free as well. I think.
Yes. Well, see, Thaddeus is smart. You said you had you were smart. You made a business. You're doing other stuff to make money. Like I said, some of us were dumb. We're like, oh, we're just going to create and be poor forever. Well, we're not going to do that anymore. But yes. So there you go. So it's good.
Hollis, you are a very talented person.
Thank you.
And I do love your voice. But you are look at this show that you're doing. You are experiencing. You have been. You have a journey. You have been in the music business. You are living it. This is the journey. You're doing it.
You have to enjoy the process, right? Oh my God, you would. Or maybe you probably do because you've done it. This had took me forever to set up. The first freaking 10 episodes of this show, I was like, Joe, I'm dating streaming services, all the stuff I never wanted to learn. But now I know how to do a lot of it. I mean, it is a full-time freaking job to set up all this stuff. But I appreciate that. Thank you. I really do.
Of course.
So was it okay? So we're gonna play Black Card, and I'll just play it. Let's see. I have it here. And it's your video. I think I have the lyric. I have the lyric video. That's the one.
That's great. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is Black Card by Lord Thaddeus. You guys ready? Here we go.
Tell me if you
you'll be wanting more. Don't be stuck in indecision. It will be cool, you will admit. If it's experience that you're after, then time with me you won't forget. Tell me if you like it, it will go far. Tell me, what do you think? Put it on my black card. It's on me. Tell me if you like it, it will go far. Tell me, what do you think? Put it on my black card. It's on me.
Oh, and we're back. Awesome. That I love that. That video is so cool.
You like it?
Yes. Good job. And you know what? It's funny. And I wrote you and does this look a little familiar? Like the chessboard? That's literally that's my single coming out. So when I saw your chessboard and I also saw the what's it called? The hourglass in there too, because I use that in mine as well. Because life really is a game, isn't it? And I think as we get older, we realize that it's about how good can you play the game and all these lessons. And this is literally what my whole album is about. It's like coming back and you know, life is a game. And if you get good, if you don't give up and you keep going and you learn, and are these mistakes really bad? Like, or do you learn from them? That's my whole album's about the game of life.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I think a lot of very wise people say that, you know, there's a lot learned from failures of our past. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. If you could look at them, my album is called A Comedy of Errors. It's not out yet, but and that's what I said. It's just, you know, you live and you learn. And I said, I mean, of course, I'm not prejudicing against younger artists, but I think, you know, because there was a stigma for so long. Oh my God, especially in the music industry. Oh my God, you're 30, you're ancient, you're this, you have to be a kid, you have to be. And then now I'm just like, well, screw you. Now the older artists have, I think people are actually searching, you know, for people who have some life experience to write songs that are, you know, have some meaning and some depth, because you get better as you get older. I like my album. I hated what I used to write. You know, it wasn't until I got life experience that I was like, and unfortunately, I'm sure you know, heartbreak, you know, all these things that we go through, death, trauma, like you know, people dying, and all of a sudden your heart's pouring out and you're writing because you have life experience.
Absolutely. You know, I think I'm doing some of my best stuff now, that, you know, compared to all the past. And you're right. It's we've gone through a journey, and those of us that are still standing can probably produce some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why I love it. And I think that's one thing I really do love about the new music industry, or whatever this age we're in. It's like no one's gonna tell me now, oh, you're too old. It's a, well, fuck you. I'm not trying to go to Hollywood. I'm trying to be a star. I could do it for here. I could go out and play. I could do whatever I want now. And it's not, I mean, you know, you try to again make it. Are you just making it because we create? We're creators. It lives inside of us. That's what we do. Right?
I was in Hollywood recently, and I was communicating with somebody who's also. I used to live in Hollywood way back in the day, the late '80s, early '90s. I lived in Hollywood, and that was like the music heyday. I mean, there was GIT was there. That's the Guitar Institute of Technology. That was a big thing back then. We had guitarists walking up all up and down the streets with guitars slung over their backs, and it was a cool time in Hollywood. Now there is no GIT. Nobody's caring about playing guitar. There's no musicians walking around Hollywood anymore. Few actors, but it's different.
So different, yeah.
So yeah, I think it is a really cool era. It is people can get out and they can have a musical voice, whether they have musical training or not. And where they take it, I mean, just because people can use technology doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come out very good. I've heard lots of AI stuff that is, yeah, it's funny for whatever, but it's not really good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And people can tell. I mean, like I said, I think there will be a comeback. There's so much. I mean, I said people could tell. Sometimes you can't. You're like, oh my God, is that like, but I think eventually, like I said, I think there's going to be a searching for people like, like us,
Yeah. In fact, actually, I think it's a great tool, though. For instance, I have a buddy he's a famous lead guitarist of a famous metal band, and they're one of the biggest of that genre. He was doing a demo, and he didn't even have bass guitar on the demo, and the singer was, well, it was a demo, and anyway, I threw it into AI just for fun and grins and giggles, and came back out, and then I sent it to him, and it sounded like the singer now sounded amazing, but still to me and I was kind of communicating with him about it. I was saying, this is a great tool, so you can actually, listen to the guitar parts that AI had created. It's like, what do you think of that melody line? And so I think for a lot of musicians, we can kind of look at it and go, I like that melody idea. I'm gonna try something, maybe a variation off of it or whatever.
Yeah.
That to me is how you can really work the material and develop some really cool guitar parts or melodies, and so I actually suggest to people all the time. My favorite way to play with a lot of it is create your demos and then throw your demos in there and see what it creates, and then make some other stuff and play around with it. And that to me is really being able to kind of play with the music.
Did you ever think to maybe put your old music in there, like, and see what it would pop up, like what was it, Skeletons in Closet, like to put that in there and see what it would come up with? Because could it do that?
Absolutely. In fact, actually, I'm doing this new CD right now that I'm releasing right now. It's called Medusa Sessions, and there's a reason for that, but yes, it's gonna have like 16 songs on it, and like 4 of them are my old songs that I threw in there, and I was like, holy smoke! And so I've got some bangers coming, and that were my previous songs. And I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm going out and I'm going to perform this stuff live, and
I was just going to ask that. That was my next question.
Yeah, and so I wanted a lot of some of the older stuff to sound as current as the new stuff too.
Yeah.
And but no, I got some wicked cool stuff coming out, and it's because I'm throwing it in, throwing it back, and I'm playing with the demos. I'm not just doing prompts and just letting it come out with whatever. I'm literally doing demos and throwing things in, and I'm playing with stuff and listening guitar ideas, and then I'm erasing that guitar and I'm doing my own, and it's
right.
all that.
Right. So you said like you're using it with you're creating with it. It's not just you're like, there's a difference there. And it's
producing, if you will.
These tools exist now, and they do make life so much easier. So right, especially with the music. I never really tried it with the music yet, but I have like 2 old Love Zombies albums. I was like, I want to just kind of throw it in there and see what it comes up with, and maybe do a re-release. I mean, there's the classic one, but like, just to kind of get an idea, see what it does, because it's pretty cool. It can do that kind of that stuff, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the arrangement ideas I'm now coming up with, because I'm able to throw stuff in and move stuff around, and I edit it, and I still take stuff and put it into my regular DAW. I use Logic, Logic Pro is my DAW. So I love Logic. I love throwing stuff in there, moving stuff around, and that's how I produce. And so it's not. So I do a combination of things. There's not one. Pretty much, I do like the. When you're doing stuff, you're gonna know, like doing prompts and stuff. There's an entertainment attorney. I don't know if you know Miss Crystal. Do you know Miss Crystal?
Yeah, I don't know her, but I've watched her videos. Yeah, with the red hair, and she has her.
She's
Yeah,
also a dark alternative singer and
yeah,
artist, and she's great. And but she's also an entertainment attorney. She's huge
yeah.
on YouTube. Yeah,
I've seen them.
and,
Yeah, I've seen some of her videos.
and she's been talking about Suno and AI for over a year now, and on the legal side on her videos, and ultimately, when you get down to it, we're talking about synthesis to me. Uh, and she says like you can, if you've got the paid accounts, you can release this stuff commercially, and of course I do. The But what she really gets more into it, and is really kind of interesting, is you can actually oh um, oh for her, she kind of says that how do I say it? This is kind of synthesis. This is like the biggest problem that you might experience is if you do a similar prompt that you make it as a very similar sound for like somebody else that does it. If somebody does like a generic prompt for hip hop, for instance, uh, somebody else down the road that's also doing a generic prompt for hip hop is probably going to have maybe similar sounds.
Yeah,
If they're just basing it off their own AI stuff. I recommend people do their own demos first and then mix it in and then start to play with it a bit, because that changes it dramatically where it's your sound because nobody has your demo that you used to help prompt this thing.
right.
And my argument also still though is synthesizers have been in existence since the late 70s. So you can synthesizers had the same problem. You're a keyboardist, Roland and Yamaha. They all had the same. If you went and bought a Roland synthesizer, you're going to have the same sounds that Joe Blow down the street bought that same synthesizer. Is my point. And so they're going to play. It really kind of depends on how you play it, right?
Yeah.
That piano tone,
Like a chord.
how you play it, how that person plays it, right?
Right, like a chord. Like how many chords are there?
Yeah.
Right.
So back in the day, especially back in the 80s and stuff, there were only so many sounds. There's only so many keyboards that were out, and so they had to be creative. And so similarly, in AI, the same way, the better you do your prompts, the more you can and or use demos to help show your songwriting, lyrics, and also the music. That's a way better benefit because it'll be way more customized to you
Yeah.
than to just be generic and just do something generic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you just, like I said, it's just a changing time and you accept it and have fun with it and use it. Like you said, you'll be able to tell the people who are putting some of their own ideas in there. It's not going to sound like everybody else. What was I going to say? Oh, I wanted to ask you because I know like the genre dark. What is it called again? Like dark pop, gothic, or
Well, yeah, definitely. For me as a person, I personally came out of like the goth rock kind of genre, especially when I was younger. And back in the day when I was in Hollywood, I used to play at like Zombie Zoo and the Crypt, and those were my places. That was my thing. And so a lot of it, like I said, the Skeletons in the Closet. So those were songs that I wrote over time. So obviously they had kind of a very gothy feel to them, and they're cool. There's some really cool songs in there. And they got worked over for years. I did multiple demos of them, all over and over and over and over, and so they evolved tremendously over time. And so that was a goth rock kind of thing. I think for me, one of my relatives recently was listening to one of my releases and said, "Wow, your material's kind of matured a bit." And I think now this new CD, Medusa Sessions, is going to has a little more of a maybe more polished feel to it, but definitely more synth based vibe. But I'm getting great comments. Chris Stacy, I have a buddy. He's a country singer. He's he says he loves the vibe. So it's cool. I think I'm digging it. It's we got some really cool songs coming up.
Yeah. No, the reason I asked too is because I like it, and usually like because my music, I talk a lot about dark and light, the shadows and the light. I like the light, like, I'm not really into skulls and things like that because I always think like devil worship and I'm not, there's a point to this. But saying like, but listening to some of your songs and even like, Will I See You Again? Is it a bit like the afterlife? Do you believe in the afterlife? Is there things, do you have spiritual? I have to listen to more. I've only listened to a few songs, to be honest, but like just that title alone, right? Isn't it Will I See You Again? Is that one of your titles?
That's a song I haven't released yet. I did the lyric video, but I haven't actually officially released it yet.
I'm
releasing that on
July
July 5th.
Somewhere. I guess
that's a really cool song though. That's a really cool one.
I didn't mean to let the cat out of the bag. I hope it wasn't a secret. But
it's a great dance song. No, please check it out, enjoy it. No, it's a cool song though. But yeah, no, my songs tend to be about life experience mostly. And I tend to, unrequited love is a common subject for me.
Yeah, because I didn't get that about like devil worshiping or anything. Like I'm just saying, sometimes when I think dark goth, like, but I really like it. I like this sound and stuff. But I'm just saying, I'm into like a lot of like weird messages from the other side and spiritual. I talk about that all. Besides music, I talk a lot about that stuff on this show, past lives and energy and all that stuff. And I kind of got that vibe a little bit, through your lyrics and stuff.
Oh no, absolutely, for sure. I just also released a couple weeks ago the song "Immortal."
Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah.
In Immortal, that's part of the chorus is "I want to be with you in the afterlife." That's the chorus, man.
Yes. So yeah.
It's to me that's a kind of a romantic song. It's a dark romantic song, but and especially since in that song I had a car crash in the actual demos of that song. When I go into the breakdown of the song after the second chorus, I literally was able to sample an actual car crash, and I put it in there. It was really cool. It didn't make it to the final mix, but anyway. So ultimately, going into the third verse of that breakdown, there, it's like after a car crash, and it's talking about my life flashing before my eyes, and just died, and so that's what happened in the song, and that was the premise of the song, and that was the idea. And in the video, actually, the actual video of it, I actually have I do own that Corvette. I have my Corvette star in a lot of my videos. But anyway, I have my Corvette drive off the cliff of this road into the ocean, crashed in, and it was in the Amalfi Coast in Italy, and so I definitely did the video with AI because I'm not. I do own that Corvette, but I'm not crashing it for a video. I'm telling you. So
I would say, do I have a laughter button? No, I don't have my laughter button. Here, I'll do a little applause instead. Yeah, it's a good one. Oh, God. What do I do? Buddy is laughing.
Oh, thanks. And again with AI doing the video parts. I mean, certainly I had to do painstakingly. I had to do because in the AI, when you do AI video, you have to do first the picture first, and then you animate it, and for like 5 seconds. So I'm doing each clip one by one. It takes me like 20 to 30 hours to do a music video.
I believe you. It takes forever to edit, but it's so cool though. You can do this. I had something the other day. I'm like, it was floating in a bubble. Like I was like, I would never be able to do that before. Like I didn't know how to do anything. So now I'm like, this is so cool.
It's what's crazy to me is all these people that are just hating on AI and it's just like, were you one of those people back at the turn of the century, back in the day when cars came out and you just really demanded to ride the horse? I mean, what's the deal?
Right. No, I right. Not to interrupt, but like I talk about it a lot, and because it's one of those things. It's just I'm a big proponent of like still you got to keep humanity alive. Like there's still part of like AI can't do everything, but you also can't. Like it's evolution. Like you said, there's CD. Now it is a weird time because humanity, as far as I remember, maybe in a past life, like we've never dealt with AI before. I think the scary part is saying if it could replace humans. But even Elon Musk or whatever, I was watching a video, we're saying actually in the future, creativity and musicians are going to be important because there still needs to be someone to put the freaking input to make these things. You need the creative minds. Like I just finished, and this is a great thing. Finally, I had this kid's book. It was called The Love Zombies. It's based off my old band. I literally finished it this weekend. I wrote the story years and years ago, but for years I was like, well, I have no one. I can't pay an artist to do it. And finally, and I had for like a while tried to get these consistent zombies. It was always giving me a different zombie for the scene. I just couldn't get it. I don't know. I used ChatGPT Plus and I'm like, oh my God, like it's come alive. It's so good. I can't believe it. And I finished it. Finally, I'm literally going to publish it on Amazon soon. But I wouldn't have been able to do that with AI. So like, again, you don't have to hate on it. I say, be careful. Don't become so reliant on it that you don't use your freaking brain anymore and free thinking. I'm a big about thinking, but that's a danger, I think, when people turning into robots and using it for everything. Like they don't know how to think at all or anything. And it's all just like they're like zombies, no pun intended. But you know what I mean? But I think that's the fine line where you have to be a little bit careful. And especially also with just humans. Like I think people they just use it as a crutch sometimes, not AI maybe, but to disconnect and they don't even know how to talk to people. Look in the eye. Like you said earlier, perform. That's where it is going to be. People like us are out there. You could perform this stuff. Not everybody has ever even been on a stage. I'm sure many people have no idea how to set this equipment up. There's so much to it, So,
well, no, and I know on the performance level, one of the trends that I have been seeing lately, because I've been out there, I've been playing and performing, and are solos and duos. I mean, places like the Dive Bar or whatever, Bonfire, or all these different venues that used to have like typical, bands, with the drums and bass player and all that jazz, are gone. People are walking up on stage with a laptop.
Yeah.
And they're just singing with their tracks,
Oh my gosh. And Thaddeus, since I met you when it was 2020, 6 years ago, before that, my life was bands were such a pain. They literally, they held me back for years, finding a bass player, finding a drummer. Oh, I couldn't do this gig because we have a bass player. And finally, after I left you, and after I left Vegas, I went home and I have a whole series about it. It's actually, I'll send it to you. You should watch episode 1. It talks about leaving Las Vegas and everything. My point is, I digress. But my point is, when I got home, I was like, I'm going to learn how to do all this stuff myself. And I'm like, I'm done because I'm not going to stop doing music because finally I was writing all these songs and everything. And I got a keyboard and I freaking did it with my lab, put all the back. What I did it would go to a studio and someone helped me put all my backing tracks together. It's all my music. I played everything. And now I could go live tomorrow, which I never could do this before. And just bring my keyboard where I play along, I sing along, I have my tracks, I'm going to have a projector. And I could be a one-woman show finally. And I've wanted, it's just taken freaking forever. But years ago, literally, my biggest thing was always a bass player, like a rhythm section. And just, it's such a pain in the ass. So to me, that's a huge benefit. I'm like, nothing's stopping me now. I'm finally going to go out and do it again. Taking a while.
Yeah. I do think that, if you look, again, from a macro perspective, I do think some people not as many people are probably going to learn how to play guitar.
Yeah.
And probably not as many people learning how to play keyboards and not even care. And you can see the signs and if you can read the tea leaves. I mean, just a couple weeks ago here in Vegas, we had EDC weekend. It had 500,000 people show up.
What does that stand for? Electronic something?
EDC is it's one of the biggest electronic music concerts, festivals on the West Coast. And 500,000 people showed up for that weekend.
Yeah.
And 500,000 people. And they're all just vibing off of, and I have set up, I once was the video manager for EDC. I have work those shows. I have, and the vast majority of those DJs are not even playing live. It's pre-recorded in their studios like mine here. And they're just literally just half the time putting their hands up, half the time turning buttons on things that don't even, that aren't even it's not even on the right channel. They're just trying to look like they're doing something.
Right.
It's a performance, if you will.
Yeah.
And but people love it. And so ultimately people just want to have music that they love, that
Yeah.
vibes them for whatever reasons.
Because they don't really care. Like, again, it's more of something that we just, as musicians and people who've done it for a long time, just have to accept, because like you said, or you got to adapt to it and use it how you can. It doesn't mean you can't be creative. Like you were saying before, use the prompts, use the tools. But like I said, people aren't going to care if there's a real drummer on it. Like consumers, they don't care. They're like, does it sound good? Do I like it? They're not the musician. I think the hardest thing was for people, like, I'm just like talking for myself and people like me, like just accepting like, wow, it's changed. And instead of fighting it, still like, adapt to it and just accept it. This is the way it is now. And it's going to get changed probably even more and stuff. But hold on. I do think it's a little bit sad that people won't learn guitar and piano, because for me, again, they'll never know. But for me, that shaped my whole life, and learning a skill and learning a discipline and the fulfillment coming with knowing how to do it. I do think that's sad, but they're not going to know. They're whatever. I learned it on the freaking keyboard. I don't, the computer keyboard or the iPad. They play Guitar Hero. They don't even know how to play guitar. So, but that's only stuff that will know, I guess, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have heard some really cool guitar stuff now that comes out of synthesizers. It's crazy.
Right. But then you learn different things. You'll have a whole
we're having a crazy, amazing time. And I'm not negative about the technology. I'm more of a, my point is more of a, whatever it takes to make a great song that people are just going to love.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, just do it.
Yeah.
And for anybody that's going to play with any AI stuff, my recommendation is, if you want to separate yourself from sounding like the potential of someone else is going to sound like, do your own demos. Record a demo first of your song, and then throw that into AI, and then start playing with it, because that will make it sound way more unique.
Right.
Than what anybody else could do.
Don't just do it from let them do everything. Like you said.
Don't just do it from that, because it will sound probably more like what everybody else is doing.
Whatever else is doing. Yeah, exactly. So wait, I have a question a couple of questions in the chat room, if you don't mind. I could talk. See, this is Hollis-tics. Sometimes my shows go on forever. I don't have a timeline because it's my show and I talk a lot, if you haven't noticed. But I do want to say, if you notice this, I found it and I still have it. I was actually wore this the other day to the pool.
Oh, that's cool.
Can you see it? I love Las Vegas. This was my hat I got before I left. I never got rid of it. I miss my Las Vegas day. I wasn't there that long. I was only there. I was there like 4 or 5 months. I loved it, but life had other directions or other plans. And now I'm in Cleveland. But real quick in the chat room, hi, Aaron's in there. I didn't say hi to you guys, but Shannon, Aaron, and I have a question for you, Thaddeus. Can you hang out for a couple more minutes?
Absolutely. I am in no rush.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I just don't want to miss anyone. Aaron said a question. Question for Thaddeus from VOP USA Radio says, where does he, not he or she, sorry, I read that wrong. Where does he see the future of touring going for bands? Will technology spoil the experience for artists, musicians, or make it easier? We kind of answered that. We were talking about it, but do you want to?
Absolutely. Honestly, I think it's going to get better.
Yeah.
There are websites coming out that are like trying to help organize booking better. Certainly, dealing with smaller venues, it can be challenging. Those people are having challenges just staying afloat themselves. But I do think from a macro perspective, I think over the next years we're going to see technology help in the booking process as well. And actually, I think it could be really beneficial in the sense of it could, standardize some payments possibly for people, and because especially if you're touring, you do need to have a certain amount of guarantees and because anyway, it's costly to tour. That's an expense. It's an expense.
It's always. And again, that's not something that has changed from if there's AI or there wasn't. That was the same thing back in the day. You were hoping someone discovered you, a manager gave you, backed you. And now it's just like, it's the same thing. It's like who do you get lucky? Does someone have money who likes you and is going to help you? I mean, that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more organized, too, because, I think they'll put more artists together that sound, because how many times have you played a show that I'm playing a show with some country band? It's like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Right, right.
Some places, historically back in the day, especially pay-to-play venues, they didn't care who the bands were. They just, whoever's got the money to play could step on stage, So.
Yeah, and even now too, with all the AI and the stuff that you can do, I'm looking forward to. I think it's been exciting. Like I have a projector I haven't used yet, but just they're going to expect they're going to wow, there's AI now. You could be doing really cool things. They're probably going to expect you to have some cool stuff, like a cool show and stuff like that.
Yeah, in my show when I go play and I'm ready to go, I kind of keep it like a performance, like a fighter. Like I stay in shape. So I'm ready to go too. And every song on my thing, I have a video for. So if I go to venues, I have a projector as well. Yeah. And if I go to venues that have projection or LED walls, I can easily plug in and give them a feed and be live.
That's so cool because you're good at video production. I bet you have a really cool show. Did you play anything yet with Lord Thaddeus or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you've been. I'm sorry if I missed that. You have been out playing gigs.
Actually, I played at a brewery in LA. It was fun. That was such a fun show, and did it with DJ Neto. He's a DJ, and it was a great show. Those people are such fantastic people. It's a metabolic brewery in Ontario, California. But yeah, they're really really they're really cool people. The owners of it are two nurses who and they're a husband and wife, and they really wanted to own a bar, a brewery. So that's why it's called metabolic breweries, because they put science to their brewing, and so they've got great beer, and they're just really fantastic people. So I played there. I did a show, and that owner guy came up afterwards and go, "Hey, that's one of the greatest ever," and blah blah. They have a really good vibe there. It's a really cool place.
So was it, you said it was you with the DJ, and then did you have a screen and you had your effect?
Yeah, I have a projection going on, screen behind me. I also have a low-lying fog machine. I spent almost a couple of grand on this low-lying fog machine, and it's a really cool fog machine. And so I had low-lying fog, and it was cool. It was cool.
That's so funny. I have a fog machine. It was I got on sale at Party City when it was closing, but I haven't used it yet. but I actually have a Rock and Roll Studios. I have a room there in Cleveland. Cleveland is awesome actually for music. It has a good music scene, and it's really friendly for musicians and culture. And actually, the last time I had a studio like this that was 24 hours was in Las Vegas. I was so sad when I had to leave because it was on Almond Avenue. Does that sound familiar? Almond Street or something? And it was a place. It's probably reopened now, but I remember I loved it, and it was a couple $100 a month. But I could go. I had a couch there. I had my piano, and I could go there anytime. And I hadn't had one since because when I moved back home to Pennsylvania, they don't have them, and they didn't have it. And I moved to Maine. Long story. But anyway, now I have one, and it brings back to the fog machine. But then there was a sign that said, "You can't use fog machines here." I was like, "Do not use fog machines." So I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll save it for my debut show." But you're giving me some good ideas here. But it is nice because you have a lot of experience. So do you set everything yourself up, or do you have someone help you run your video and productions and stuff, or are you really a one-man kind of show?
Yeah, I'm kind of a one-man band. I have this rack that is over here that's underneath it, and in that rack I've got an X32 digital mixer, and I have then 3 wireless. It's actually 5 wireless because I have a wireless for guitar. I've got a wireless for in-ear monitors, and I also have 3 in this rack, 3 wireless microphones. So tons of wireless. But anyway, I can throw my rack in. I hand the house just 2 XLR stereo feed. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome.
I can be set up in a matter of a couple minutes.
Oh my gosh. See, that's good. See, I might be calling you for some tips. I'll be like, Dad, what do I get? What do I get? I'm
And
starting off and I need
basically,
something
my
cool.
mic's wireless, my guitar's wireless. I can, if I'm opening for another act, I can be out of the way in literally less than a minute.
That is so cool. That
Yeah.
is awesome. Well, another question here someone really like Shannon really likes your studio, says it's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
What scale modes? I don't know. Is that it? Aaron, let me know if you're still in here. Does that make sense to you? What scale modes, Dorian, Aelin, or do you know what that means?
Yeah, no, for sure. I love arpeggios for sure. And in terms of with goth and dark music, minor scales are your play. And so that's really where you want to, mostly hit. And because minor scales give the kind of sad kind of vibe to it. So
Yes. Yeah.
that's kind of, even though my music now is very it's kind of dancey.
Yeah, it is. I like it. So cool.
Thanks. Yeah. But it still has a little bit of a melancholy kind of dark kind of vibe to it. Yeah.
Mhm. So, yes. So I was going to say, I think we should say it on air and I make it happen. Because I think that you and I had some unfinished business out there. But if I ever make it to when I make it to Las Vegas, maybe we could do a show together. Like we could play a show and I could, not like together or together, but don't you think that would be cool? I'll come back and I'll get my set all set up.
Ask you, we should do a song together.
Yeah, I would do. That would be awesome. I would love to experiment with some different things. I'll have to send you some of my music. I only have, like I said, one song out, but I'll send you some other stuff. I have dark. It would be cool to do a different style for the next album, or just to do a one-off song or something, and then we could perform it together. I'll come to Las Vegas. We'll have video walls. I'll play the piano, play the guitar. Right? Because I started to tell the story, but we met and I was singing. I don't have the binder anymore, but I had printed all the lyrics. It sounded good.
Yeah, no, I know. That really would have been cool.
Yeah.
And I think we were right on time because duos have become very standard now here, and we would have been right at the beginning of it. So,
yeah. Did you ever end up doing it? Did you find another singer and do that, or never really happened?
I didn't even bother with it. We're really actually after that during COVID. That's when I basically just kind of was here in the studio, and I was like, and I started picking all those songs out from the closet,
Yeah.
And so I just started I literally started re-recording and doing it all over again then. And then in 2023 released the Skeletons in the Closet CD. Yeah.
Because everything, obviously, which COVID shut down. How long would you say, like, did it last for there? Like, until things got back to normal? Was it like 2? It was like 2 years, right? Because when I left, the reason I remember leaving, literally, I was working at the Paras. I was like a cigar girl, and I was like walking. I don't know if I told you that. I was like selling bunny ears and Elvis glass. It was a fun job. It was kind of cool. And it was St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make some money tonight. All the drunks are going to buy all these. I'm going to make them buy these bunny ears and stuff. And then the whole thing closed. But like, how long did it stay closed for? Did it really mess up the scene for a long time? And is it back? Is it bounced back? And I remember they had like glass. Did they have that in the casinos? Like then glass shields like around the tellers and stuff when it came back, or no?
It had a bit of a profound effect. It took some people out of business. It was challenging. It affected a lot of people. But it is what it is. It happened, and could it have been handled better? I don't know. It's always easy to be a Monday quarterback kind of thing. But looking back at it, and hopefully maybe we did learn some lessons. Hopefully.
Yeah.
We got Ebola. We got Ebola in Africa happening, and I'm
right.
Not like majorly, but slightly concerned about that.
So would you say, like, now here we are 2026, it's like 6 years ago, like, is it kind of back to normal, or is it you feel it's definitely still a lot different?
Oh no, it's back to kind of it's back to normal,
back.
kind
Oh
of
good.
Yeah.
Oh good. Hey,
Yeah.
well, maybe you never know. That's why, like, because same thing with you. That is same thing. And when I went back in 2020, it was when I literally recorded A Comedy of Errors, my album. I went up there and I wrote every song myself. I produced it. I mean, I did go to a studio. There's an engineer and he was great because I can't play guitar like that. I mean, I played everything else. So I played like, I did bass and some keyboards. I did everything. So, but it took that was during that time. And now, isn't it funny? The timing too. Literally, you're releasing all your stuff. I'm starting to finally. So you never know. See, I feel like you meet certain people in certain times for, a reason. Sometimes you loop back and you never know. Right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Especially great. You're a very talented person. And so it was really cool to work with you.
Well, thank you.
We had some great rehearsals.
Yeah, there was only a couple, but I remember, was it like Chandelier? I was like, I'm going to fly. Some of these songs, because you had to put a cool spin on it, I think, right? You were like doing different versions of it.
Yeah,
like,
I always try to make it a little bit different, right? But still,
yeah.
I mean, if you're doing a cover show, you're still doing a cover show. In fact, I just did a cover show in January. We have an event here called Liquid Red. It's actually a BDSM kind of club thing. It's kind of fun. Megan, who runs it, she's fantastic. Anyway, I do shows with Liquid Red like once a year, maybe twice a year at the most. And I was doing, I was talking to her in December that I had worked up all these cover songs, and I had really cool versions of them. And so I did a show with her, Liquid Red event, and it was called, and for me, it was called the Covers Show because it was pretty much all covers. I didn't do any of my originals.
Oh yeah, well that's cool. I mean, there's a big scene out there too. I'm sure, like there's a lot of good, like really good cover bands, like tribute bands and stuff, right?
Oh, we are in Las Vegas. We are not lacking people who want to play. Oh gosh, there is just tons of music going on here.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah. Aw.
But no, there's also some really talented people here. And there's a lot of even retirees that like to retire here who are ex-pros. We have them from, there's just so many. And there's just too many to count. It's amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
In fact, even beyond it, even like there are famous people. I have a friend he's an older gentleman. He's retired, and he was a famous juggler, and he did juggling for kings and queens, and he's huge. His wife was this amazing trapeze artist that super famous. So there's so many of those types of people here in Vegas that even retire here.
Oh, for sure. Because I remember when I would walk around like Hara's as the bunny girl, I'm like walking around, there would be like around the balls and the girls. I'm like, oh my, I was like always watching the juggler. She'd be on a ball. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have a circus there, right? Do they have a circus?
Well, Cirque du Soleil has
yeah, I thought that.
shows here. And,
yeah.
And we have huge warehouses that are basically places where gymnasts go to work out. And it's a circus in a warehouse training facility, if you will. We have lots of that stuff,
Yeah. Well, for sure.
This is professional entertainment production.
Yeah.
City. Yeah.
Aw, I really love. It's that hotel, or isn't there a casino called Circus? Is that still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't really go into it, but
yeah. That's really it was intended for kids, and it has a little amusement park in it in a kind of a warehouse kind of thing.
Yeah,
rides and stuff. Like I said, it was kind of circus is not our best, but
right.
Yeah.
On the subject of trapeze, so what next in store? Your album is coming. Is the album called Medusa Sessions? That's the name of the album.
Uh-huh.
And when will that be out? Or you're doing that in pieces, like just one single at a time and leading up to it, or?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm releasing songs like once every week or 2 weeks, and then I'm just finishing up the CD right now. So I still have a few songs I'm just finishing up.
It's funny you call it CD, but you're not going to be making CDs, are you?
I actually am. it's small quantity. I'm probably gonna make 100.
No, I'm just saying because literally I have a CD burner still, and the last time I put out music was on CDs. And people, I don't have a CD player because my father-in-law, I promised I'd burn him a CD, and I'm like, I have nothing to check it on if it works. I don't have a CD player anymore.
Yeah, some people do.
People want it.
And so I make it for them, kind of a thing. Like I said, a small run. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
And but it does actually, in a way, kind of. I like it in the sense that it does kind of. It's like a project that you just completed, right? And it kind of marks a. But when you have all the songs done, it kind of marks a completion level to me. So that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Because I was looking in that too, because I have some fans from the UK, and they asked, like, are you going to have any physical merchandise? And I thought about CDs. Well, I was like, but it's not going to be that many. So I'm like, maybe I could burn them CDs. But then I know that people do flash drives. But I thought about doing like a flash drive, but putting it in some kind of a CD case, so you could still do all the art and you could do this cool stuff. But maybe it's like, so for the people who don't have CD players anymore, but do something where not losing that. Like, oh, people don't like albums, but I think some people do, and they like the artwork and they want it signed, and they, you could be creative with it.
Yeah.
So what's the date again? Did you have an actual date that the album is being released? Like you have
not yet.
Something or not?
I still have like 4 songs to mix down. So I still have guitar parts to do.
How many songs are going to be on it total?
It's going to be like 14 to 16. There's still a couple. I'm doing something that's kind of fun. I'm also going to release a couple cover songs on it.
Cool.
And these songs are bang songs. They're really cool. They're going to be really cool.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. So real quick, run it through one more time. Black Card's the one you just put out just a couple weeks ago?
Recently? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I have on June 7th is my birthday.
Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Well, I'm close to your dad there, right there.
You're Gemini?
Yeah, I'm Gemini. Yeah.
Gemini.
And so Sunday I have a new song that's called My Medusa. And it's kind of like almost the name song of the CD, but it's a really cool song too. And so that's released on June 7th. And then will I ever see you again? That song's on July 4th. That's a cool song. And then yeah.
And there it is there, you guys, just in case. Go in if you haven't seen it. I put it up a while ago. But Lord Thaddeus, he's on Spotify. You're also on Bandcamp, and you're just going to type in that name there, Lord Thaddeus. And you're on YouTube. You're everywhere. As long as it's not a very common name, so I don't think there's other ones out there probably. So,
oh, yeah. You asked me about it. When I was how I got to Lord Thaddeus was kind of a joke. It was kind of funny. It was I was trying to figure out a band, what to name it. I was, I thought of all kinds of things. I've been in 1,000 bands, yada yada. And initially, I thought doing Sir Thaddeus, and I even released a song, just one, and I did one song and I called it like Sir Thaddeus, and I released it, and I was all excited about it. And then my sister-in-law, my older brother's wife, she looked it up, was doing a kind of the search, and she goes, do you know there's like another, there was another guy named, he's a reggae artist out of Jamaica. His name's Sir Thaddeus.
Oh,
I didn't even think that there. I thought it was so unique. I didn't think that.
Yeah.
I didn't think there would be anybody. So I was kind of like reeling, going, "Well, what am I going to do now?"
Mr. Thaddeus, no.
He's got a few songs out, and I didn't want to, like, play any stupid games or nothing. So, I was like, "Well, what am I going to do?" And so I was playing with ideas, and then I was like, "Well, I own my house." So I'm going, how about Lord Thaddeus? I'm on property, so I'm going to Lord Thaddeus now. So
there you go. So no one else was Lord Thaddeus that you know of.
Anymore, yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a Hollis out there. How dare someone took my name? There's just a Hollis. I was like, I just wanted to be Hollis. So I put my last name, and I'm like, oh, people are like, how do you say that? I'm like, oh, should have just been Hollis. I mean, if I made it back in the day, like Madonna, I'm Hollis. How dare someone else have my name out there who's just Hollis? So I'm Hollis Mahady now on Spotify. Anyway, but thank you for sharing that story. And It's been what they well, gosh, it's 8:30 already. So like I said, I talk and talk and talk. But for anyone else out there, again, any other links or anything you want to let anyone know? I guess I don't know if you have a website or any. I think we've said everything, right? But is there any closing things you want to say or
Um,
farewell words or anything?
yeah, you know, life goes fast.
Mhm.
Sometimes we get stuck in the ruts, working and paying bills and having to do the life thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but make sure if you can take some time to smell the roses and whatever those roses might be for you. Maybe it's going to a bar, having some beers, or whatever it is. And but enjoy your life while you're living it because it goes fast.
Oh
And
my gosh. Amen. Absolutely. I say that all the time. And again, it is a crazy time. We talk about, okay, there's good benefits, but with all the AI, you're always constantly disconnected on the phone. Or it's like it goes so fast. And you just said it, light, especially when you get a little older. I mean, you realize, like, or you lose someone dies, and all of a sudden, like after my dad passed away, it was just like, oh my God, it's life goes so fast. He would always say it to me too. He's like, how it goes so fast, especially after when you get a little like boom. So you're right, nothing's guaranteed.
no,
These are your closing words, but I'm piping in because we think the same.
no, in fact, actually, that's in my that line is even in my song "Immortal." It's there are no guarantees.
You're right.
So you really just got to make the best of whatever your scenario is. That's your best play, and uh,
And
and enjoy life. And also travel. I highly recommend traveling for people.
yeah,
Uh, Going
keep
to
it
Italy.
exploring.
Last 2 summers I've gone to Italy. It's such a mind-opening experience.
Yeah,
Travel and experience history and to experience places, and it really opens your world. And
yeah.
highly recommend it.
And
So
people, like, invest in experiences instead, like, because people will always make an excuse, "Well, I can't afford it. You must be rich. You must be lucky." But make it a priority because at the end of the day, you're not gonna remember all the stuff in your house. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you live there, whatever, but you take with you those experiences. Like you said, even going in London, I mean, I was able to travel the whole world doing music. I mean, I might not have a load to show for it now, but I mean, I'm rich in experience. So, you know.
some of your favorite places?
Um Let's see. I love Oh, that's tough. Okay, wait. So I lived in London for a long time. Ireland is they weren't my favorite. What did I love? I love Portugal. That was nice. I think also though, and Spain was cool. I was in there. I think it depended though when I went because I have really good memories of Portugal and Spain because I remember it was in the summer and I was out like at these little things, the tapas, and it was Ireland was beautiful, but I was always there in the freaking winter. I just remember it always raining and it was like, so probably Portugal was that was one of my favorites. I liked the Mediterranean. I did a cruise. That was cool. So
Oh, I love it, love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
you
went
were
to
you were in
Sardinia.
Italy, you said, right? I've been to Italy. It was just Milan I was there. That was the only place.
Oh, Milan's fantastic. I love Milan.
Yeah. So we
But
like churches and all that cool stuff. Right up your alley for what you're doing.
it is. It's right down my alley. Italians are such fantastic people, and and it's such a wonderful country. Um,
Yeah.
and I do want to go to. I haven't been to Sardinia yet. I want to go, and I haven't been to Majorca yet. I want to do that.
I sound so dumb. Are that all in Italy? They're all in Italy.
Majorca is more of an island off of Spain.
I'm not very good at
Sardinia is an island off of Italy and then right in the middle of the Mediterranean. But yeah, but traveling, yeah, absolutely. I highly recommend traveling for people and
yeah.
getting out there in this world and just experiencing life.
And
'Cause
those Italians out there, my father-in-law's watching. He's Italian. He's a Smurglio. So I'm not Italian at all, like originally me, but I'm married to an Italian. He makes really good food, Italian food. And so
Oh,
I'll say,
really?
and Smurglio out there, he's probably watching. He watches all the episodes. So big shout out to you. He's Italian. He says, "Amodon." What is that?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, bene. It's no, really, seriously. Italy is I actually would possibly consider potentially owning a home there. It's such a fantastic place,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the history and the people and the food and it's a vibe there that you just can't really explain overly. They do things their own way there, and the way they do it is pretty cool. They've been doing it a while, so I think they got it kind of down pat.
Yes. And Joe says, Joe's a good friend of the show. He says hello, but he says, well, thank you. I'd be Italiano. Are you Italian, Joe? Joe's great. But yes, absolutely. Well, we could talk for hours and hours, but maybe you'll just have to come on sometime. When your album comes out, come on again. We'll play some more songs.
Absolutely, let's do it anytime.
Okay, awesome. Well, gosh, I had such a good time. Thank you so much. It was kind of random, and I'm glad you said yes, and you picked June 1st, and that's today, and we did it.
We did it.
Good job. Well, thank you.
This is cool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see you again, and I'll be getting your album as well when it comes out, and I will listen to more songs. What's the next song coming out? One more time. Next one.
Oh yeah, it's My Medusa, and it's June 7th.
June 7th, your birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lord Thaddeus, I should say. Not Thaddeus, Lord Thaddeus. Thank you for coming on, and we'll talk more. We'll look into doing a song together, and I'm going to come back out to Las Vegas because I have unfinished business there.
Yeah, you may need to retire here. Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yes, definitely. I'm a West Coast. I love the West Coast. I want to go back there. So yeah, that's what we're working towards.
It's fun. It really is. It is a fantastic city, and once you get into the mix of it, I'm still actually I have on purpose gone out more often in going out to bars and like for instance there's a place called the Dive Bar here. It's a venue, and a lot of touring bands play there. And there was a touring band from Britain. They're called Synth-Attack, and they're from Germany. Funny is my music is actually kind of popular in Germany, more popular than here. So anyway, I want to go check them out. And they're on the Dark Tunes label, so it's on a label that I'm familiar with because Maria is on the Dark Tunes label, and anyway. So I went to the gig, and I was hanging out with the guys, the Synth-Attack, the guys from the band, and we were hanging out, and they already knew me. They already knew Lord Thaddeus. They knew my music already. It was cool. To me, that was such a great compliment. And, and so we hung out. And I probably drank a little bit too much that night, but we had fun. And it was a cool thing. So I do get out now. I go out. My wife and I went to the Vampire Ball a few weeks ago that we had here. So we go out and we do stuff, and we get in the mix of the community and try to be part of the community itself too.
Yeah, you got to get involved. That sounds fun. Vampire Ball. They might have one of those here in Cleveland. Cleveland's pretty cool. Like you wouldn't know. I don't know if you know much about Cleveland. I didn't know. I ended up here randomly. I won't get into it. But boom, for some reason I was like, oh, probably never gonna do it now. I was living in Maine. I was like, oh, my album. And then I got here, and it's like, boom, there's music. There's a Playhouse Squares. There's culture. There's musicians everywhere. It's awesome. So I always feel you land where you're supposed to, and you don't force things. I'll get back to Las Vegas someday. I'd like to go back. So.
Well, you definitely need to come back for sure.
Yeah, at least for a show. But I'm gonna live there someday. I also like Arizona as well. I think that
Arizona, there's really cool places in Arizona for sure.
Yeah, I like Arizona. I like Sedona. I would love to go there. So that's where we're gonna go when we're sick of these winters. Winter sucks. You got summer like all the time there. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Well, we can talk all night. So you'll come back again sometime. All right.
Sounds good.
Promise. All right. I hate doing this part. I remove you from the stage. I'm gonna boot you off.
Okay. Hey, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Everyone, check out this Lord Thaddeus. Thank you on Hollis-tics, guys. Go check out the music. It's awesome. I'll be sharing it.
Thanks.
All right. Take care. Good night.
Good night.
And there you have it, guys. I got my weird Las Vegas hat on. The problem is with my headphones. It doesn't look so cool, but it's the Las Vegas show. Hello. That was Lord Thaddeus. Well, very good. That was fun. I'm so glad he came on. That, like I said, that was just kind of a random one because I usually my last guest, I knew they were coming on for a while, and I just said, I want to have a guest, and I saw his thing, and I liked it, and I said, hey, you want to come on the podcast? And he said, yeah, and there he was. So very good. So we should do an applause. Hold on, I'm gonna get my background here, and I have to take a tinkle, but the show's not over yet, guys. I went on and on, but we got to catch up a little bit because I wasn't here last week that much live, but I did my replays. I might have missed tonight. That was like the first 2 nights I've ever missed doing it because I had a problem with my computer. I usually like to at least put a replay up there. So let me put my background back, and then we'll do a little commercial, and then I'll tell you what's next on the agenda for Hollis-tics. Okay, let's see. Let's play a little Dr. Wayne because it's 1 minute and 55 seconds, and I could pee fast, but not that fast. So here we go, guys. I'll be right back after a little Dr. Wayne.
The next principle I call don't die with your music still in you. And who better to quote than Thoreau right here in Concord when he talked about some of us hear a different drummer and we must march to the music that we hear. But all of you, everybody watching, everybody here in this beautiful parish, all of you have some music playing. And all of you have a heroic mission. There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it. And too many of us are afraid to listen to that music and march to it. You out there, I know you have a book you wanted to write. I know there's a composition you wanted to compose. I know there's a song you want to sing someplace. Maybe you want to raise horses out in Montana. Or maybe you want to open up an ice cream shop on Cape Cod. Who knows what it may be. Maybe you just want to travel and see the world. Maybe you want to go into a relationship with someone but you've been afraid to, but your heart says it's the right thing to do. All of us feel something. And in Leo Tolstoy's famous novel, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, he asks this question that would be terrifying to me. He says, as he has his accountant from Moscow lying on his deathbed, contemplating the horror of this question, what if my whole life has been wrong? I've known what my music is. It's playing right now.
Little Dr. Wayne. We went from dark goth to little Dr. Wayne. We do everything here. We experience, what's the word? We explore the dark and the light. He had a little bit of a dark, but I liked it. You see why I liked it? And it's in my head. See, there you go. In a black card. Yes, I like that too. And we didn't really talk about the meaning, but of the song. But if you listen to the lyrics, I think it was referring to a black MasterCard, and it's usually the people with the money. They get what they want. Life is a game. I talk about this all the time. But with that said, guys, remember this Friday, June 5th, a special day in my heart because it's my dad's birthday. He's no longer here, but of course I think about him every day, but especially more on his birthday. So this song is for my dad on June 5th. Don't forget, guys, it's coming out.
World is made up with illusions of gold, but it's all just a story, a lie that we're told. It's amnesia, we're under amnesia. They got us forgotten who we are. It's a spell that we're under, cast from the start. It's time to remember just who you are. They got us forgotten who we are, left in the dark. In the light of grace, we'll remember our home, see the face of the sacred place that we know, and we'll remember who we are. It's amnesia, we're all got amnesia.
I don't know if Thaddeus is still watching, but if you are, that was my AI video. My first time I've used AI when I was floating the bubble. I don't own a pink Cadillac. Is that a Cadillac? I don't own a pink car. I wish I did. That would be pretty cool, but that was AI. And I think it's pretty cool. Remember who you are. Like they'll take you and it kind of looks like you. Obviously, it's not exactly you, but it looks pretty close. If you look closely, if you don't really know me, you might not notice. Oh, but that was me floating in a bubble. And yes, and I had Thaddeus, but I hate kicking the guest off. It's like boot guests. Kick them off. Get them out. I like having the guests. See, I could talk and talk and talk. You know what I mean? I go on and on. on. And especially since I wasn't really live last week. Like I said, I was kind of live. My shows were still on, but I wasn't live because I was doing a lot of stuff. And I mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to mention it again because it bears repeating. I'm going to tell you why I was so busy. And it's been something urgently burning in my soul for years, I mentioned it. I'm not lying. I finished my Love Zombies book. And it happened because of ChatGPT Plus. And I don't know. I've had the writing done for many years, and it's a story about. I wish I could just read you the back cover of it, but I actually don't have it. But I could show you the front cover of it. And so back in the UK, there was a guy who did some of our original cartoons. He's such a good guy. Maybe we can get him on as a guest. His name is Chris White. He's awesome. He's an author. He's hilarious. He was a great guy, good supporter. I mean, he's still alive. Thank God. I just mean he was a great guy. He is a great guy. My point is, he kind of with the original ones he was doing, but time goes on and time's passed. I haven't spoken to him really in years. Like a while ago, I think he's doing okay. I'll see his videos once in a while. But I didn't want to be like, Chris, can you do all my illustrations? I wanted a lot of illustrations. So anyway, I was like, with all this AI stuff, let me see. Because even a couple months ago, I would try to get the Love Zombies, like, because I had their I could see them in my mind. Lolly, the Love Zombie, and Dino is her partner in crime, and I saw them in my head. But I am not at all an artist, like a painter, drawer, a cartoonist. I mean, I'm just not good at it. And so I had been experimenting, and on my computer I have like so many different versions of Lolly, like. But the problem was every time I would try to put a scene in for them to generate like another scene, they changed the zombie. It was always different, so I couldn't get a consistent look. And I was in Canva, which I use a lot for all my like design, my thumbnails and all that. I would always talk. I love Canva because it's so easy. It's awesome. And I was using this AI generated there, and it actually was being pretty consistent. But then it started being weird. After a while, it was like teasing. It gave me all these great images, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep going. I need the next scene. And then it's like, oh, you have reached your allowance for AI images. And I was like, okay, can I just buy more? I'll buy whatever I need, more tokens or whatever the heck it is. I don't know. It was just a pain. I wasn't able to get it, and I was like, ugh. And then I was on ChatGPT, and I was just like, I didn't think ChatGPT really did images that good. I don't know. I never really used it. But anyway, I put one in and I was like, whoa. And then I tried again. I was like, how about, can you do her doing this? Can you do this scene? And it was the same zombie. I finally got her. And then of course I had to pay for that. But that's okay. It was worth it. So I don't, it's like $20 a month. But I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to finish the book. So I have the cover. I'm going to unveil the cover for anyone watching out there. And Joe is in the house. Thank you, Joe, for being here. June 5th, the release date. Yes, Aaron. This Friday. Joe says, then they immigrated. Oh, about because you said your grandparents came from Vasto and probably not saying it right. Vasto and Molitano, Italy. And then they migrated to Cincinnati, Ohio. Wow. Oh yeah, because that's where one of my 3 sisters still has their naturalization papers in her memorabilia. Aw. And they came here, and you've been here. So you're Italian. Like I said, I'm not any percentage Italian, but now I guess I'm kind of, because I'm married to an Italian. My full last name is Mahady Smerglio. That's a mouthful. Sometimes I forget when I go to you sign up for something, you make an appointment. Sometimes I'll say Mahady. Sometimes I'll say Smerglio. Sometimes I usually don't say Mahady Smerglio, but then it's a pain because then I go there and I'm like Smerglio, and they're like, oh, we don't have any record of that. I'm like, oh, Mahady. So it's those things, but it's okay. So anyway, back to Love Zombies. But I was just so excited about it because we were talking about how much should we talk about this? It was, you're seeing another perspective with Thaddeus, and about like he embraces the technology. I talk about it a lot, and I'm embracing it too, because I do, like I said, the one thing I will always be cautionary about, and we'll talk about it because I also been working on something called the recreation movement. And I'm going to play a video as well. See, I've been a busy bee last week. It's not just like I didn't want to feel like doing my show. I'm just like, oh, sometimes, it's like quality over quantity. I have some new shows I'm putting together, but it just takes time. So much time. I'm going to be pre-recording some of the episodes so we can get different scenery and probably airing them as well. So we're going to be changing the format up a bit. Like in the beginning, the first couple episodes I did one where I was like showing you footage of at the store and stuff. But these are things that you have to pre-record, put it all together. It's a lot. But it's okay. Because Hollis-tics is a work in progress. It's evolution. You have to keep it exciting. I like having a guest. Having a guest it's nice. It's fun. It breaks it up. It's something different. But yes. So anyway, my point is, because of AI, there's some things that now I could do that I've never been able to do, and at least get it out there. I've always wanted to get my idea out there. And let's see, I did upload it here. Are you guys ready? I should have a drum roll. If anybody's paying attention, no one will know the plight of the love zombies like me. So this is a big deal. Drum roll. This is just bongos. This is not a real drum roll. Okay, now I got to do it. Hold on. Then I got to do it as fast as I can so I can get up here. Ready? Go. Here we go. You ready for the Love Zombies land? It's coming, guys. It's coming. Oh, so close. Ready? Boom. There it is. Yee! Yes, that deserves the applause. Like I said, no one will ever know the plight of the Love Zombies and what it took to get here and what it took to make that album. We feel, we heal, we rise, we love. Oh, it deserves another one. Okay, wait, hold on 1 second. Sorry, Thaddeus. Okay, yeah, don't forget, you guys, check out Lord Thaddeus on Spotify. I just want you to see the whole thing. A cosmic adventure, kindness, compassion, courage, and love. That is fluffy love right there. Higher vibrations. There is Love Zombie land, guys, and they're coming to Earth. They're coming to Earth to help heal the planet with their high vibe rock and roll. High vibe, high vibrational rock and roll. They're coming, guys. They're coming. You're not going to know what hit you. The Love Zombies are coming to save the world. And they're also going to experience what it's like to be a human on Earth. They have to deal with all that. It's not so easy. You could sit up in Love Zombies land and meditate, but they come to Earth and they're in for a rude awakening. But they know this. They're planned. They've been trained. They've been trained to come help the humans. Remember why they're really here. They've come. They're coming to remind us who you really are, because Draco has unleashed terror, fear, dark energies, amnesia fumes. Does that sound familiar? Amnesia? Anybody? Does that sound familiar? So it's all connected. I've been working on this for many, many years. Yeah, it's all coming to fruition, and with the help of AI, because I could do it all myself. And that's why I'm always freaking busy and behind a computer, but it's all coming and I'm very excited about it. I can't wait. So yeah, it was like the last thing I have to do is upload it to Amazon. It's already halfway done. It's just, it's actually going to be a physical book too, so I can make copies of it. Remember I had Jessica on our show and I showed her book and I said, well, now I'm going to have my own book. And see, that's the cool thing. You could do it. Doesn't mean whatever. Is anyone going to buy it? Hey, maybe you would, because it's good. It's good for kids, but it's good for adults alike. It's one of those where I was like, okay, it took a while, obviously, like years and years. And now, I did not use ChatGPT for this. I won't lie. I did put it in there and say, could you make sure, edit it? Could you make sure there's no punctuation, grammar, that stuff, like Apple, all that stuff. Yes, why not use the tools for it? First time ever writing a book. I'm going to be a published author soon on Amazon. And so they did do that, but I did not use AI to write it. But yes, for the pictures, yeah. And they asked, is AI generated images? And I said, yes. No lie there. I can't draw like that. But like I said, they finally did the character. I love her. Let me do it again. Oh, there she is. She's so cute. And the whole book is illustrated. So there's there's a lot of pictures in there. Not there's maybe 2 every chapter, and there's about I think 11 chapters. So yeah, so it took a while. I mean, it took a long time. There were some days I was working on it for 10 hours, But it's really cool to be able to get my book finally. I can't. And what's really cool, it's awesome. In the back, there's a QR code similar to this one, guys. Don't forget, buymeacoffee.com. If you haven't already, hook a sister up. I'm putting love and vibration and spreading good things into the world, entertainment. So buymeacoffee.com. You go to my website, hollis-tics.com. There's a little coffee cup if you want to donate. As I said, I do this because I like doing it. No one pays me to do it. And I don't make any money just yet. But we're going to get a sponsor. We're getting a sponsor, guys. I'm calling it out to the universe. Sponsor, advertiser. I'm a children's author now. Thank you. Not officially until the book is in my hand. But the cool thing is, on the back, last page, there's a QR code. And if you scan it, you go to a bonus Love Zombies little land world where you get free music. And it's my Love Zombies music and all that stuff. I have a Love Zombies theme song. I'm telling you, it was like, this was in the works for so many years. I remember we literally have a Love Zombies theme song. And even back then I was like, I'm going to put that in my book someday. Because I had the whole story about it. They were coming to Earth and they have to experience the human things. And I don't want to give it all away. I want you to buy the book. But there'll be a digital book as well. And I'm thinking for my Buy Me a Coffee supporters, I will be putting that in there. It's another incentive. If you sign up for a membership, $10 a month, you get a free copy of my digital book. So if you're already a member, and I know there's a couple, you're gonna get it for free. But the physical copies, I think that's so cool. So I'm very excited to get my book, but I haven't finished it yet. It's the last step. I'm very close, just about sizing the cover and all that crap. So once that hurdle is done, I'm going to order like a proof and get it, make sure that looks okay. And then if it's all good to go, then I will put it up and order some more copies because I could order I forget what it was called. It was called whatever. You could get discounted copies or whatever. So I think that'd be so cool. So when I do music shows, I could sell my Love Zombies kids book. And the Love Zombies will live on. Because I don't get too much into it, but it's a shame what happened to the band. I don't really even know. It's been a long time and not worth really rehashing, but it didn't really work out. But what came out of it was some good music that still lives on. And Lolly the Love Zombie, there's a whole universe that lives on through the Love Zombies. Because we are here to infect you with our love and heal you with a hug. It's all related. So, back to the comment section. Aw, yes. Oh, thank you. White Noise says that looks amazing. Thank you, Shannon. You're going to like it. I can't wait because it was crazy too, because I think I started saying it when I first started just last week, not the book, but when I first started these AI things, this new attempt, the story is older. Because I was trying to figure out what's the audience if you're trying to market this, for the right audience. I ended up picking 9 to 12 or 9 to 13 or 9 to 12 because, it's not just a little kid's book about the Love Zombies, they're sliding down a rainbow. Now they do that, but it's more actually it talks about fear and anxiety and these feelings in humans of Earth. And so it is a little bit more for older kids. So the first, what should I say, incarnation or the first cover, when I actually really liked it. I was like, wow, because it was the first time that it came up with something I liked. But after I finished the book and I was reading, I'm like, it looks too little kiddish. If someone sees it, they're going to think it's for 5-year-olds. So I had to get it more, even the cover. Let me pull it up again. Let me just admire it. But even that, she's meditating, you know what I mean? There was something here, it was conscious. And I was like, I think that's too high word. I don't want it to be anything too much like that, but a cosmic adventure about, oh wait, hold on. You can't really see it because of my banner. Hold on. Oh, a cosmic adventure about awakening, unity, and the power of love. Awakening, it's things we talk about here. So it looked too little kiddish. Now I think this is something, now if I was a kid and younger, I think that would pop out. It's not obviously not for a 5. Maybe it could be for 5, but see cartoons and stuff. But the other one, I don't have it to show, but it really looked, after finding this, I was like, oh my God, the other one looks really babyish. It was still really cute. And it's just really cool to finally see it. And that's what I was talking to Thaddeus tonight about. just with AI and stuff, you know, I go on, I say the same thing all the time, I guess, but it's not that I hate AI, and we can't escape it. We got to embrace it. And if you could use it toward like creatively, that's not a word. Creatively, that's not a word. Hollis, what is it? Created. It's not a word, is it? Creatively. Oh, you know what I'm saying? If you could use it anyway, for me, it's so exciting because, like I said, this was a idea I had like literally a decade ago. The reconnection movement, the recreation movement, my album, like all this stuff now, it's really cool to see it come out. And they do all the work for you. So, but you also are putting your ideas in. So everything in there. I have a character named, oh, what's wrong with you, Hollis? Named Roy G. Biv. Does anyone know what that stands for? Roy G. Biv. If anyone knows the answer, you will win a prize. Anybody? Anybody would know what Roy G. Biv stands for? Let me check the chat room. Where's James Tim tonight? I don't see him here. Oh my gosh, there he is. I didn't even see that, James. Did you hear me? I said, where's James Tim tonight? And then I saw hi. Cosmic. What is that? Synchronicity. Am I tongue-tied? Synchronicity. Kesbit? What's that word? That's another one. I don't think that maybe it's not the right word. But hello, James. I wondered where you were. Thank you for being here. But the rainbow. Oh, hello, Ben. Yes. Yes, very good. The rainbow. You're right. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange. It's an acronym. Is that the word? Red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet. Roy, red, orange, yellow. G, green. I forgot that one. Biv, blue, indigo, violet. The colors of the rainbow. Yes. Good job. He wins a round of applause. That's what he wins. Ben, welcome in. It's so good to have you. Good. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, well, you know what I mean. You get the point. But yeah. So like all the characters in there it's so cool to see them come to life. So that's why I'm gonna say, like, even I was just like, and Dan was watching too. I'm like, oh my God, like it's amazing when you really think also about computers. I mean, not that I know that much at all, but even just when I was doing like my training to be a tech goddess. I'm kidding. I don't know if you're new here, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I was like learning, computer stuff, like all that, and like the insides of a computer, because we have to get another job to pay for all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna become doing tech and all that. So you always get a job in, I guess, customer service and tech support and all that. Like, really, I guess. But it's a lot. But I was learning. I remember learning. You have to go through these basic things of like the computer packets and how it gets from this and how in the parts of a computer and how it gets there. And I'm just thinking, when you really think about it, oh my God, like how did they freaking do this? It's crazy. Like you put exactly what you want in, and then they're changing it, even with your own. Like I'm probably not making that much sense. I know I'm like all over the place, but what is in that computer? The codes and because everything is numbers, right? Everything. I just remember learning that too. Was just like everything is like 1 and 0, and everything is numbers that make these things on the screen and this, the graphics and all there's probably other stuff too, but everything is, I forget the word too. It's been a while, but like, and I'm just thinking, you tell them, can you make love zombies? Can you make this Lolly the love zombie? Can you make it? And it just comes up. It's like, where the speed of like, what is that? Like from A to, computers are so fast. I mean, I probably sound really dumb. This is where, like I said, I wish there was someone else to be here. I'm like, whoa, but maybe you guys know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, Jim Tip says, blame me why his sound went off on Sunday. No, we did not. But yeah, I don't know. That was crazy. I was helping him here. I have no idea why. But I'm glad it was back on. And he did a show last night and it was no problem. So I was like, okay, so there shouldn't be a problem today, hopefully. But yeah, so it's very exciting. So that literally, when I get in the zone, I'm like, I just want to, after all these years, like I just want to finish it. So it did take a long time. Because then I end up redoing the pictures and then having to redo the this and that. And then Canva was giving me some problems. Canva's really good, but there was, I don't know, it was being weird with the maximum amount of images you could use. And it was freezing and then it didn't save in 3D. So it took longer than it really should have because of mistakes and errors. But I don't know. I mean, back a long time ago, it would have taken forever. You imagine typing in, like, you just probably never would have even happened. So yeah, there's one of the advantages of AI and this kind of stuff. Like I said, it's just one of those things where I will always say, it's still important to have humans involved, obviously, in humanity. And it brings me to the recreation movement, which we are also going to talk about because why not? Why not, guys? Why not? Because it's a big thing. It is a big thing. But AI, I talk about it all the time. So you know what I'm saying. Colors of the rainbow. Yes. Aaron got it. So let's go over to that because that's actually what I spent all day today working on, and time goes fast. And it was just like, oh, let's see if I have it. Because remember, guys, if the people in here who have seen my other episodes, and you guys have watched a lot of them, and I talked about the recreation movement, especially when Chris was on, and because I started episode 1 talking about the reconnection movement, which I wrote without AI, without ChatGPT, like over 10 years ago, same era when I wrote Love Zombies, and I talked about like being scared about like AI and blah blah blah. And now we talk, okay, AI's here. It's not going anywhere. We talked a whole episode with Thaddeus about how to embrace it and this and that. So, and I said to Chris, but still, it still leaves people like me, like the Chris's, and who are independent artists who don't, have another job, made loads of money, and like are able to just give their music away for free. We're like, oh man, I wish we could just get some kind of money for it. So about bringing that back in style, also about, if there really is good art you like and music and maybe merchandise CDs that you buy it, that's like, does it have to totally go out the window? Because otherwise it's hard because how else are you ever going to make any kind of living? The thing is you won't. And then I talked about this before as well. It's not about making it anymore. And I accepted it. That was the night of my release, right? I said I accepted it. You're never going to really make a living from music ever again. Right? I don't know. Maybe, like I said, with touring and so maybe you'll get paid. Maybe I'm wrong. But just accepting it. That's the point. It's not a sad thing. It's just accepting like, oh my gosh, all right, well, you got to do something else to fund your creativity. And was the point. So, but my point with the recreation movement in this fast-paced world that we live in, when it's so much all the time, and things are changing so much, and it goes back to the episode 1 about we got to still keep some of our humanity, right? And I think, especially with people being busy all the time, it's so busy, and you're just like, I was asking myself this other day, it's just like everyone's so busy, but busy doing what? Okay, I know that sounds like, yes, of course you have kids, jobs. Yes, you are busy. But I don't know, when our grandparents, and I know my grandfather was raised on a farm and everything, they were working 18, 19 hours a day, but they still had time to connect with their family. Like, it's just a different kind of busy. It just seems like we're more busy doing meaningless bullshit. Not everybody, but I'm just saying with the phones and the scrolling, it's like you're more busy, but less doing things that mean anything. And I think that's what I said with the recreation movement, just holding on, not fighting the past or not trying to live in the past and be like, oh, no, fuck AI. Sorry, I curse. Screw AI. I'm never going to use AI in my music. I mean, yes, me personally, I think because I was given a voice, for me to not sing anymore and just be like, oh, just create something with my voice. I mean, like, I'm not going to do that. But what Thaddeus was saying even earlier, like if you have demos and stuff and you want to get maybe an idea, like use it, if you could use it for certain things, like you just got to kind of figure it out because we're navigating a whole different era. It's just not the way it's used to be. It's not going to be, you got to get over that. But certain human qualities should not go out of style. And I think one of them that definitely shouldn't go out of style is human common courtesy. And I think that people use, oh, I'm just so busy, as an excuse to be a jerk. Oh, you're so busy that you can't return a phone call, that you can't email back, that you see a message and don't answer it, that you oh, I'm just so busy. Now, can't be a hypocrite. I've done that too. So, but my point is saying, look at yourself, and I'm like, be the example more. They say that to be the example you want to see in the world. But you can't be a hypocrite. Like, start to practice a little bit. Like I said, I know I'm all over the place, but when Chris was on the show talking about helping each other, again, there's so many people. It's hard to know who you want to help, who you want to support. And then it leaves people like, oh man, like no one cares. How am I going to build an audience? So it's just like, okay, can we recreate actual caring about people, maybe supporting people, maybe not everybody, maybe support one or two people and ask them to support you back. Not because you care, not because I'm paying you to promote my thing, because you care. Street teams with music back in the day. Like I said, you didn't have to pay people to like your music and spread it and share and care. Sharing is caring and sharing care. You didn't have to. It just was. And these things do seem obsolete now, but it's like those things worked. Now you might say, well, that doesn't work now. But I mean, I just think certain qualities, like just, we live in such a different time that it's like acceptable. Well, I'm so busy, but you're, again, if you're busy, like really, truly, you don't have time to do anything because you're like, you're raising kids and you working 5 jobs. But if you're really just busy because you'd rather like just scroll on your phone and gather likes and all that meaningless stuff, but you're too busy with that than to answer a human. So maybe I'll shut up and play the little video I made. But anyway, my point is, it's exciting because I have a new series. So I'm going to be doing like a series of these podcasts about the recreation movement. And I mean, it'll be aired here. Like I said, I might pre-record some of them. But here, I'll do the commercial, and then maybe I'll make sense more. Your arms look, my arms, oh my gosh, I haven't really started lifting weights yet. Yes, I didn't mean to curse. I think I cursed once or twice. That's right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's see. Okay, going back over to, anyway, I made this today, and I think this probably sums it up a little bit better. Again, because the reason why this exists and why I made this was, to me, it's a problem, personally. And I know sometimes you go, oh, you got to get over it. That's just the way it is. And I don't think that's something that we should just accept, that people are just jerks because society makes it, because we're so busy and we can't get back to anyone. I just think it's mean, and then even putting my email out the other day, a lot of people wrote back. It was so cool. So I'm focused on those people, and just focusing on heart and just real connections rather than vanity metrics. Oh my God. Yes. But I only have 100 people who saw my video. Oh my gosh. Or instead of, but I'd rather like 40,000 because that's what everyone cares about. I'm chasing views. I'm chasing, like, no, it's just like, so to me, it was something where I feel like there are other people who feel this, because I know Chris is one. I always talk about Chris because, we're kind of in the same boat with that. Chris is must kill Chris. There's other people out there who just feel like social media really like dictates like their value, or like, oh my God, I didn't get all these likes. And it's just like, well, maybe let's go back to a time, not like go back in past, but take some of the stuff that did work in the past here, taking some of the stuff and readapting it. Is that the word? I don't know if that's the word. But anyway, let me play it after. I'm going to shut up. I don't know. I did my hair. It's kind of weird looking now, but I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, the recreation movement. Here we go. This was made with AI.
They tell us we're living in a fast-paced world. Busy, busy, busy. But busy.
Oh, sorry. Real quick, just a warning. I'm going to re-upload this. I don't think the audio is the greatest. I did it real quick because I wanted to talk about it tonight. But if it hears a little weird, I realize that. I'm going to fix it and re-upload it. But you'll get the message. So here we go.
They tell us we're living in a fast-paced world. Busy, busy, busy. But busy doing what? Scrolling, swiping, chasing notifications, collecting likes, followers, views. Somehow we've become more connected than ever and more disconnected than ever. We become so busy chasing attention from strangers that we've forgotten the people right in front of us. We become so focused on building audiences that we've stopped building communities. We become so concerned with being seen that we've forgotten how to truly see each other. And somewhere along the way, basic human courtesy became optional. Returning a phone call, answering an email, keeping your word, showing up when you said you would. I don't miss the past. I miss the things we left behind. This isn't about going backwards. It's not about rejecting technology. It's not about living in the past. The future is here. AI is here. Technology is here. The question isn't whether we move forward. The question is, what do we bring with us? Do we leave behind empathy, gratitude, community, creativity, integrity, human connection, or do we carry them forward? The recreation movement is about bringing the best of the past into the future, not rebuilding the world, recreating what we've lost, because the future doesn't need less humanity, it needs more. And in a world becoming increasingly artificial, being human may become the most revolutionary thing we can do. The recreation movement. Preserve what matters.
There we go. So yeah, like I've taught, it came to me because episode 1 was reconnection movement. I was like, oh my gosh. And I even give it away for free on my website and like writing it all those years ago, warning about AI and all that. Not warning, but like you kind of like, I was worried about it. Like, oh my gosh, we're going to turn it to humans or not humans. We're going to turn it to robots to be no more humans. Here we are though. Here we are. And like I said, maybe not everybody feels this way or cares like I do, or like people like my age, I'm going to say, or older, because it is so crazy. And, but it's just about, like I said, preserving some of those important things. When I say empathy, that's a huge one, because that's the only thing when everything is so automated. And I use the example about people being busy. It's almost like it's okay. No, I'm just busy. I'm distracted. And like, that's okay. I thought that example was so good of them sitting in front of their eating with each other. And it's like, you're not even talking to the person. Listen, I've done that before, but we both knew we're on our phones. Like I've done that with Dan and we'll be on our phones. But, like that's true. Like, and that's just like, that's okay. And like I said, I brought the example up again and again, just about everyone just being so busy. And I think I'm saying for myself, like it makes me kind of sad. I'm just like, wow, like you can't get anyone's attention. Like they won't even like talk to you, look at you, or like just or like they're just so quick. Oh, okay. And I've been on the other side. I've done that too, and I have to practice what I preach. And I know I'm again all over the place, but actually I wanted to bring this up too. This phone, which I hated, right? It's like, oh, my Apple. I literally realized I was addicted. I had withdrawal. It sounds crazy. Like I had withdrawal from the iPhone. And I'll talk about this again, maybe in the next episode, a little bit more about case studies about people getting addicted to their phone. I'm talking like, I think I had like a physical withdrawal. Like I was crying. This is so pathetic, but there's a reason. There's a point. Listen, I'm open. I'm honest here. You're probably thinking, whoa, now I had PMS as well. And that didn't help matters, guys. Ladies, you understand. It intensifies things. But I wanted to throw this thing. I was like, where's my stuff? Where's my thing? And it was almost a good wake up call. And now I don't love this phone. I don't really like it that much. I mean, maybe I'll like it again, but I'm glad I don't want to love it. It's almost like, okay, good. You know what? I still do what I got to do, but it almost forced me to be like, oh, it's like falling. It almost forced me to be like, wait a minute. And I've been less and less on the phone because of it. Now, again, you have to be on your phone for jobs and work. Not everyone, but like it's a big part of your life, social media. But there's just part of me where it's like finding a balance is like, no. And that's what the recreation thing is too. It's just like writing that email to my email list and having almost now 30 people actually wrote back. And I'll send out another one. Some people might have missed it. Again, I've explained this before. I sent out an email and I said, is anybody out there? Anybody actually read this? Because I'm tired of writing freaking long email, not even that long emails out and feeling like I'm screaming in a void. No one cares. Then don't be on the list. Are you there? Do you want to connect with me? Am I bugging you? Let me know. Do you still care about music? Do you want to connect? And people wrote back. So then it's just like, okay, those people did. It's about just actually, we said this earlier with Thaddeus, quality over quantity. It's just like, you know, a recreation movement. I want to find those people who feel the same way. Again, when you balance it, you have to use, you know, your phone for a lot of stuff or you have to. There's no escaping it. AI, even me, I like AI now. You know what I mean? It's helped me a lot, but still there's a balance. It shouldn't replace phones. There's a place for it and you have to utilize these tools and all that. I've liked how it helped me with the creativity. Yes, there's some things I don't like about it. I don't like that how it's going to be really hard to make any kind of money, especially for someone like me who this is all I did for so long. And it's just like, oh, who knows? But, you know, whatever. But the point is, you have to like live it. So it was just like, I don't know, just finding that balance of still preserving that. And again, I think it's going to be for people like me, my age, older, maybe a little younger, or, you know, who, like I said, remember what it feels like to really connect, who lived before the iPhone, who lived before all this stuff. Because we long for it. I mean, I long for that connection sometimes. I don't get it from people. You know, I got my husband and stuff, but I'm not saying like I'm like waiting for everyone else, because that's what you got to fill yourself with God, and you got to, you know, but I do think it's alarming that it's just like, wow, like no, like, so, but you can't say that no one cares, because people do care. So it's more just like bringing it back in style a little bit. Like, it's okay, call someone back. Or if you say you're going to show up, show up. Like, have a little bit of empathy. That was the word, empathy, for other people. Like, care. Not, you know, not enough people do. And I think, or maybe there are, maybe I'm just meeting the wrong people, or I haven't met any of them, but I have, because they're in the chat room, you know? So it's you guys, you know, but it's just, there are. So it's about bringing that back, like morals. And like, again, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm just so moral and I've never blown anyone off or ghosted someone. I mean, I don't do it on purpose, but you're really busy. But it's like me saying to myself, what's more important? Is it being busy? Because I've accepted. I don't care. You know, I've accepted about social media, and like you have to buy I think it's just a stupid obsession and influencer. You want to, oh my gosh, I need to have 1 million views, 1 million followers. You know, if it generates a lot of money, great. Like, I see why people want it, because we want to make money, you want to make a living. But if you get to the point where you're like, okay, I don't really care that much, then it's just like, oh my, it's almost like liberating. It's like, okay, I'm going to figure out another way to make money, and, you know, maybe make some money as well with the creativity, but, you know, don't rely on it. Okay, the dream, blah, 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 the making it, that part's over. I've talked about all this before, but, you know, so, but it's just about like, I think it's for those people who have seen the transformation and miss and say like, what happened? Like, you know, with your grandparents and stuff, it's like, they literally they had family dinners, and it was not everyone on their phone. Even in that video, everyone's at the picnic table, or they're cheersing. There's like cheersing their wine or whatever. There's no phones on the table, you know? So recreating, bringing that connection back, and recreating the things that matter, bringing them forward. Instead, you're not going to live in the past. It's not about that. And hopefully that like commercial kind of summed it up. I don't know. But my point is that my next episode is going to be episode 1 of that little series. I mean, it's Hollis-tics, whatever, but whatever. It's the recreation movement. Episode 1, preserving what matters. And then the second one is about being busy. Because there's like so much stuff I want to talk about. And I think other people can relate to it, you know, having friends who are too busy. It's like, are they really friends? I mean, this is not sounding like a needy thing. Like, why aren't you there? What do you mean you're busy? No, it's not like that. But it's like friendships, people, like all that stuff. We all go through that kind of stuff. So just like applying it to life and just saying, if that's the way the world is, do you just become like that too? And just say, oh, because I don't like that. Like, I still think old fashioned. I still think it's right if you made an appointment and you can't make a call and cancel it. You know, I mean, again, I'm not perfect, and it's not like I've done it every single time, but like making a point to do those things. So it comes back to you. And sometimes it won't, because this is the way it is. But is this the way it has to be? Is it Oh, you're just so busy. It doesn't matter. Who cares anymore? It doesn't really matter. They must understand. I'm busy on Instagram. You're busy chasing strangers, likes, admiration, whatever, follows. Someone you know is like calling and you're ignoring them. I mean, it's just not me, but you know what I mean? It's just like, so what do we accept? Like, is that all right? Or do enough people say, no, you know what? And the thing about music and people, if there's something you really like or a book you like and you're able to like afford it, do it. You don't just go to the dentist and then just walk out and say, I don't feel like paying. Like, you pay them, you know? So it's just like, I don't know, figure it out as we go. But it's something that fulfills me and I like talking about. And that's why I do this show. You know, it's just like to connect with people and, you know, connect with those kind of people. Because I really do think without like human interaction, it's a sad world. And that's the one danger about AI. We don't want it to become like, it's okay to just like not care because it's just so busy. Everything's automated. Who cares? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It make much sense. James says, small at first. Okay. But how do you forget the past? Relationship, marriage, you can move for. Well, I mean, what are you saying? Like, how do you forget the past or how not to, or that's a big question. A lot of people live in the past, you know, and it's like people always say you can't change the past. I mean, I think it's just, I guess that's in what way, if you want to, you know, if you're there and you're still watching, you want to be more specific. Like with this, like you can't forget the past. I mean, just take some of the good and the bad, but oh my gosh. Holy moly. That's a big one though. People live in the past. Like it's hard if you don't like, because the past could really bring you down if you can't get over it. Because the truth is you can't do anything to change it. But it's easier said than done, you know, especially if the past affected what your past mistakes, your past things affected. How do you get it out of your head? Well, they say sometimes, like, again, easier said than done, try to live in the moment more because really the present, the only thing we really truly have is now. The past actually doesn't exist right now. That it doesn't exist. It's not there. And the future doesn't either. They always say like, oh, you only have the only thing that actually right now is right now. You can't see the future or you can't see tomorrow. You can't see, you could remember the past, but it's still not really here. I don't know, James, there's a lot to that one, but all I know is that, and again, I just do my own making sense of the world and freaking my own therapy about the past and stuff. That's why I say the comedy of errors, you know, mistakes, were they mistakes? Did you learn from them? If the past thoughts are holding you back and you're living in the past, like for instance, I'll do it a lot. Like, oh man, that house in Maine really screwed our life up. If we didn't do this, because the house is still for sale, you know? So, I mean, it's the past, but it still affects the present. But there's nothing I could do. The house is already bought. It's for sale. Everything happened that I can't change any of that. So there's really no point to be like, oh, I should have, if we only did this, if we only did this. The other way I get around it sometimes is saying, if you are truly, oh no, it's okay, James. It's okay. And I'm not saying I have any of the answers. I'm just saying I'm talking from my own experience and what I do to help me get through, especially mistakes that you think are a mistake. That's a comedy of errors and everything. But if you believe in something bigger, and not everyone does, but I do believe in God. And so I a lot of times will say, you're still alive right now. God was protecting you. Maybe you went there for a reason. If you had gone somewhere else and you didn't buy the house and everything went, what if, God forbid, you were in a car accident? Again, I've used this example before. You just have to trust and it's not easy, especially when, you know, you look at them as, oh my God, mistakes that screwed up your life, because everything happens for a reason. Is there really errors? It's called life. Life is hard. But the past, again, if you could just live in the present more and not think about the past. Now, of course, you have to think about the past or, you know, learn from the past. You know, relationships are a big one. Oh my gosh. Well, don't ever think about the past again and keep having the same relationship or whatever. Oh, I went out with, you know, this bad relationship. Well, what did I learn from the past? I mean, if you learn certain things about yourself. Okay. Learn from the mistakes, never do it again. But living in the past, it's present day fast. That's what Dan said. right? Living in the past is a present day fast. You're not even living in the present either, because even when you're in the present, you're thinking about you're back where you were and you're not here then. So it's actually stealing your peace now by living in the past. Wow, I'm pain. My pain meds went to help people in Newark who really needed help. Got attacked by stupid people. People suck. Not everybody, but a lot of people suck. And that, there's nothing you can do about that, I guess, like you can't control other people. And that's on them to learn. But I know that's not easy. I understand. That's hard. I don't know. I'm just Hollis-tics here. I don't have all the answers, but hopefully, but just being able to talk about it. If anyone else has, I know you guys are in the chat. If anyone else has any input, hold on. This is Hollis-tics. Oh. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Wow, this has been a long show. It's been a good show. We had a good time with Lord Thaddeus. What do you guys think? Should we all take a road trip to Las Vegas? We'll start a bus tour, Aaron. Aaron and Amy will come here, and then we'll take a bus tour. We'll go to Las Vegas, and then we'll go to the UK and find Chris. Yeah, we can make all this stuff happen. We just need the love zombies here. They'll teach us how to teleport. It's all going to be all right. It's all going to work out. Oh, okay. So one last little thing. Now, before, I had this nice little deck of cards that I got. Okay, so I got them on TikTok. The Law of Attraction cards. They're just little cards that like you pick one and it shows you something nice. So Dan and I were picking one every day. They're just like little sayings and things that might apply for your day. Or like a word, and it has like a little like saying. So I'm going to pick one for me, for my card today. And if anyone wants me to pick a card for you, you just let me know. Okay, so let's see which one I get today and see how it relates to the topic at hand. Maybe James wants a card. Maybe it'll be about the past. Letting go. Let's see. Okay, let's see what one I get. I like to feel it. Oh, what happened to my microphone? I like to feel which one shouts out to me. Okay, I found one. Here it comes. Okay, this is my card for the day. Oh, my word is authenticity. Living your truth strengthens your energy. Authenticity attracts what aligns with you. That's true. Express yourself fully and without fear. Let go of people-pleasing tendencies. And then when you flip it over, it does another little thing. Self-doubt or fear of judgment may be causing misalignment. Reconnect with your true self. I like these cards. They're good. They're great. And that's the thing too. Like, for instance, I mean, this is appropriate. They're all pretty good. You get like, it's a cute thing. I like it. But, I'm living my truth now. I feel more, especially like putting my Love Zombies book out. Since it's stuff I wanted for so long. I mean, not just that, I guess, but just even the recreation movement. That's something, it's just, these are things that are true to me. They're in my soul. They're in my heart. Even with this podcast, sometimes, like, oh, I have to do this and maybe this guest and I should talk about this. And I love everything I do. It's not that, but it's just sometimes I'm like, okay, but I really want to be talking more about this, or my heart is really happy when I talk about this, but maybe it won't get so many views. Maybe I should do this because it's more of a format. And that's not totally 100% aligned. I mean, again, it's not like anything's not real. I mean, it's just, but when you actually are really authentic, being you, I think that's what it means. And then you align more with things that are maybe more like I'm talking about more people. Like I talked about when you kind of like example, like, okay, no, it's cool. You're busy, blew me off. I saw that you just saw my message, but you didn't answer me, but I saw, then you were scrolling. Like, that's okay. No, I could say, no, you know what? No, it's not okay. I don't accept that in my life and I don't want people like that. So, and then maybe you will, does that make sense? And then because you're being true, and they might say, well, screw you. I'm busy. Well, okay, but that's cool. Like I want people in my life who have respect for me or who value me. And same with me. This is not just about me being like, why aren't you talking to me? Why are you ignoring me? Like I'm like a little kid, like people have lives. I get it. But you know what I mean? It's just like accepting, like be true and saying, no, I don't tolerate that. I'm saving this for an episode about friendships because I've had some stuff and we could talk. And I'm sure a lot of people understand that. True friend, like people who are like make busy, and they really, it's like, are you really busy or you're not a priority? And not just in friendships, in life and other things, you know. So being your authentic self, being really you. Dan's great at this, and he's really him, and he doesn't have a filter and he doesn't care, you know. And it's just like because you'd rather be liked by the right people. What isn't that the quote? You hated and hate. Loved by the wrong people or something. You'd rather be hated by the right people. Well, whatever. I forget the quote. But basically, it's just saying, it's just like we'd rather like someone for the real you than the fake you. You have to always put on a show. Like I've talked about this, you know, if you're at work or something, you have to be fake sometimes. They're the boss and you have to be fake. So you keep your job, you make your money, bring your paycheck home because that's Matrix. But in real life, with other things that's not work, it's like, I don't know. This is who I am. You know, you don't like it, then fine. That's being authentic. And because then the people who really are liking that are saying, you know, I admire your honesty, your bluntness. You know, people don't like Dan sometimes. Oh, he's too blunt. But you know what? He's real and he's truthful and he's a good person. And so I'm not just Dan's listening. I don't mean, you know what I mean? So then good. Then don't like me because I love him. And that's what I admire about him. He's like so real. It's not fake at all. He's like, you know, he's awesome. He's funny and he's like, you know, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. Same thing with me, probably, you know? I mean, but be your real self. And then, like I said, it's better to have people who actually really like you than fake people. Anyway, that was my card, authenticity. Lesson of the day. Anybody else want a card? It's okay if you don't. Going once, going twice. I will only pull it if someone asks, if someone requests it. There's many of them in here. I don't know if anyone else is watching, but we have 18 eyeballs up there. That means that there's 18 people here. And it's a perfect time as I start to wrap up the show. I'm having a good time, though. It's a perfect time to say, if you're one of those 18 eyeballs up there, like and subscribe. Give me a follow. If you're feeling really generous, you can buy me a coffee on my website there, hollismahady.com. You could go over there, check out my shop. I'm selling lyric sheets. I'm selling my old collection of music. And I actually, on my Bandcamp, Covers is up now. You can go and get that. Unlike Lord Thaddeus, I do still sell my music for $1.29 because it helps. And I have a lot of costs. And I don't have another day job right now. So any amount helps. But when I do am rolling in the money, I'll be ubiquitous. I will be giving some of the stuff away for free. It's not like, it's not like that. Like I said, I will definitely be putting lots of free things out as well. But, you know, the option is there if you want to pay for. Aaron says, aw, well, that's nice. That's really nice. Aaron says, I wish I had the wisdom to say something that would heal you, Jim. Do care about your pain, and I will be praying for a miracle for you. Yeah, I know. I think that's the thing. But that's the fact too. That like Aaron care, I care. You know, it's just we don't have the answers, but we can at least help. Maybe talk about it. Sometimes you just need to talk about it because it's trauma, it's pain. People are assholes. Not everybody, but just to know you're not alone. Yeah, I wish we had more answers. I wish we can. There's really, you know, especially physical pain and stuff, but like emotional trauma. All I could say is like, you know, there are such things like, you know, trauma and healing. There's like a lot of books about and stuff, right? And, you know, white noise, Shannon. Okay, Ben wants a card. Okay, this one's for Ben. You mean you want a card, right? Okay, let's do Ben's. Okay, Ben. I guess I'll just feel one for you. Let's see which one feels like Ben. I mean, just nothing. I'm just gonna go like this. I'll put them up. Okay, ready? That one. Okay, Ben's card. Ooh. Ben's got intuition. Your inner knowing is a direct link to manifestation. Listen to your deepest guidance. Follow your intuition today without overthinking. Let your instincts guide you. And the other side says, external distractions may be drowning out your inner voice. Tune in and trust yourself. Yeah, that's a big one. I don't know. Let me know if that relates to anything going on in your life right now. But you always hear that, right? Trust your gut, trust your gut. And sometimes when you don't, you're like, man, I should have listened to my gut. They say that like, because they say who's they? Who are they anyway? Who's they? Who they anyway? There was a song on my album, Love Zombies. But they say like your gut is a brain, your second brain. So when people say follow your gut, I never really, you heard that before. Follow your gut, follow your intuition. Your intuition is that inner knowing. It's like, same with the feeling. Someone like comes around, you're like, oh, I don't know. My gut was, sometimes you could be wrong. But like a lot of times you're like, why didn't I listen to myself? Why didn't I listen to my gut on that one? I should have. I've had that before. So there you go. I got intuition. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Maybe we'll do this again at the end of the show. I like this. I got this, like I said, I got these on TikTok as well as this dress. I have not done any of my modeling for TikTok yet, but I'm just joking when I say modeling. I'm like, oh, and I do like the dress. It's so cute. I love it. I'll show you guys a little bit more here. Here Comes the Sun, it's called. You can't really see. Here Comes the Sun. Oh, good. White noise. You want one? Shannon wants a card. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm closing my eyes. Okay, this one feels like it's for Shannon. I think this top one feels like it. Okay. Ooh, Shannon has visionary. Now, listen to this. Great change starts with bold imagination. See beyond the present into what could be. Dream big, map out your highest potential without limiting yourself to current circumstances. Fear may be clouding your vision. Let go of restrictive thinking and see with new eyes. There we go. Yeah, visionary. I'm going to say it one more time. Great change starts with bold imagination. See beyond. Then now we're getting into things I've talked about before, like manifestation and all that stuff. But it's true because a lot of times we'll think like we do our circumstances, especially with. Well, I was reading something the other day. It's just like, or with some video. I always listen to stuff. It always pops up. But like you want to go somewhere, or do something, or a trip, and of course, I mean, most people, maybe not everybody, but you're like, oh, how am I going to afford it? I'm never going to be able to do it or whatever. And then you kind of think without that, just think of like how it could happen. I don't know. But not even just with like trips or money or whatever. But remember I talked about this with Dr. Wayne and stuff and manifesting your thing. I said it a long time ago and it worked. I'm going to tour the world as a musician. I'm going to tour the world. I want to see these places, but I don't want to pay for it. I'm not going to be able to pay for it. I'm going to go. No, I'm like, I want to see the world and travel for doing music. And obviously I was a musician, so it was like there was a chance, but it was competitive and hard, And every day I'm like, I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to try. And it happened. I did. It wasn't easy, but like something happened, and I was like, no, I'm going. But even this, I'm going to whatever. I don't know yet. I have to talk about it. I'm going to help a lot of people with the recreation movement. We're going to make a big community here, and we're going to bring back what freaking matters. Aw. Yeah, it's the dang fear. Fear holds everybody back. And it's like, it's ourselves. There's certain fears, but really, like sharks. It's always scared of sharks. But then you just don't go in the ocean with sharks. That's a little different. But fear is our fear. That's a whole other episode. We talked about it. But a lot of time you don't even know it's fear. You just make other excuses and realize, no, it's deep down, you're scared. And whatever it is of, like rejection, you're scared of. And I don't mean just you, Shannon. I just mean like in general. It's very complicated. Some of the stuff is really deep rooted that you don't even know. Why am I really putting that off? It's because deep down I'm scared of this, that. A lot of scared of failure is a big one. I know we've talked about this stuff a lot on the show, but there's 17 eyeballs up there. 6 of them may be new. And 6 of them may like and subscribe. Please. All right, I'm getting a little kooky now. Might be time to end the show, but that was good. We'll do this again. And if anyone, and you guys are my people in there. So if you ever say request a card, other people won't know what they mean. You have to be in the chat room to be able to request a card. So if you're one of those 16 or 17 eyeballs up there, come into the chat room and we could request a card and it will perk your day. So mine was authenticity. So it's better to do it in the morning because then you can think about it all day. But, so there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I am Hollis Mahady. You've been watching Hollis-tics. And I don't know if Joe is still there. Everybody who's in here, Aaron, James, Tim, anybody else? Joe, like I said, Joe was in. Ben, of course. Nice to have Ben in here. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you liked Lord Thaddeus. You can go follow him on Bandcamp, listen to his music. Yeah, like I said, I liked it. It's different. And I'm glad I got to reconnect with him. He's a nice guy. Like I said, it was just one of those things where it was like, oh. Literally, I'd gone to Las Vegas and I went to his house. Like, I don't even remember how long it was. It wasn't that long. I don't know. Just guessing. I practiced with them maybe like 8 or 9 times. And we were getting this whole thing together. And then boom, boop, never happened. Certain things just, I guess, are not meant to be. But then here we are. We reconnected. And you never know. Go to Las Vegas. We'll do a show together. Or do something. Maybe do a song together. So we'll see what happens. Nice guy. Glad he was on. Go and check out his music. All right, guys. Well, with that said, I am Hollis Mahady, your host. You've been watching Hollis-tics. And Hollis-tics will be back tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be a brand new episode, but Wednesday, it should be a brand new episode because I'm going to shoot my first recreation video. And I might pre-record it. I'll figure it out. But anyway, I always let you guys know. Dan sends out to text because he's a great assistant. He likes to send it and say it's new. Because if he doesn't send something, usually means it's a replay. But I'm just getting to the point where hopefully I can be more consistent because I do love doing my show. It's not that. It's just sometimes it just takes a lot of time. But I want to be consistent. But I also, like I said, it's quality over quantity. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, guys? All right. Aaron says that's good advice. Aw. Shannon gives a heart and an eyeball. Third eye. Aw. Yeah, it always makes my night being here with you all. You too, Shannon. See? I love that. You know? Aaron, thanks for a great show. Love it every time. Aw, you're welcome. And I love that you guys are here. Thank you for being here. Like I said, I want to come again. Like my goal is to be consistent again like I was in the beginning. It's not that because I do like doing it. But Wednesday night, actually, I'm going to the studio, Rock and Roll Studios, and I'm going to be joining in a sing-along. So Wednesday night, I won't be able to do it, but that's why I think I'm going to be putting the new episode up. And then I will be live again, obviously, this week. Friday, maybe Thursday. But tomorrow most likely will be a replay. And then Wednesday, I'm going to put my new episode. And then Thursday, I'll probably be live again, or Friday. For real. When I say live, it means I'm here in the flesh answering questions. Because if I do a pre-recorded, it's new, but I won't be in the chat room. But you guys still be in the chat room. It's not the same. I know. Well, we're figuring it all out because it is, like I said, it's nice. It's nice to actually have friends in chat and just like, shoot the shit. And again, look, even James with his questions, we're just here to listen. I just give my 2 cents, what's helped me and stuff, but sometimes you just need to talk and connect with people. So we're going to, make that little community because it's needed. I need it. So it helps me. And I'm glad you guys like it too. All right, so, my background's been gone for so long. Hold on. I have to tinkle. It's that time of night, ladies and gentlemen. So, let me go one more time, remind everybody, just in case, those 18, 17 eyeballs in there. If I don't know you and you've been enjoying the show, remember.
Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen.
And don't forget, guys, Friday, June 5th, Amnesia comes out. Here's a little taste of that song.
The world is made up with illusions of gold, but it's all just a story, a lie that we're told. It's amnesia, we're under amnesia. They got us forgotten who we are. It's a spell that we're under.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He was talking about AI and stuff. About like, I don't know. I wonder what it was. I'm not going to do that to this one, but like I said, I have the loves. Oh, I got my rights back finally for the Love Zombie stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like I didn't. I guess I didn't have them because they were, but they took down the stuff from Spotify. So I'm actually thinking about re-releasing it on Voice of Freedom Records. I could do that now. But I wonder what it'd be like to put Love Zombie songs into AI and see what happens. I'm curious. I'm just curious to see what it would. I mean, the originals will always be there. I'm just curious. That's something I can kind of play with, you know. I mean, I could play with my new stuff too. You could do whatever you want. I'm just kind of curious to see what it will come up with. I don't know. After all that talking about it, well, we'll see. But yes, so there you go, guys. Don't forget, Friday, June 5th, 2026, Amnesia drops everywhere. And I'll keep you posted for the Love Zombies book because it's a good story. And I'm working on a second book as well. Part 2, Love Zombies. This first one is called Love Zombies Land. The second sequel is Love Zombies Welcome to Earth. So that's their experiences when they get here. So I kind of started writing a little bit, but not I think I lost it. So I'm gonna have to start again. But yeah, but it's gonna be really fun. It's going to be really interesting. Like I said, it's kind of for adults too. So I think you guys will get it. But yes, so thank you guys so much for watching. It's been so much fun. I had a great show. And I think that's it. Did I play all my little things? My little things? Did I play all my little things? I think I did. Okay. So with that said, guys, to say a big shout out one more time to the love in the chat room. Aaron, Shannon, James Timms, Ben. Did I miss any? And with Joe, of course. See, I just didn't see Joe's name in a while here. Where are you, Joe? Where are you, Joe? Where are you, Joe? I was actually looking for my voice. Joe. Where'd you go, Joe? Where'd you go, Joe? Let's go. Ben's in the house. He's got his guard. Ben's got intuition. Follow your intuition. Shannon's a visionary. Let's go. Be authentic. Authenticity. Let's go. All right. Okay, I thought it turned off on its own. Where's Joe? There we go. All right, guys, with that said, I will see you soon. Thank you again, everyone, so much. I am Hollis-tics, your host of Hollis-tics, hollismahady.com. Make sure if you want to buy me a coffee, you could do so. It helps every little bit, and I'll have some coffee here. Have a coffee. Love you guys all. Thank you again so much. I will see you very soon. And remember, if no one told you today, you're doing great. Don't give up. You're never alone. And if you're doing something creative that's hard, stick with it. Don't give up. I know how it is. You are never alone. Truly, you're not. So believe in yourself. I believe in you. Sending big hugs, love, and kisses. Kisses to you, Joe. And Shannon. And Aaron. And James Tim. And Ben. And everybody else of those 18 eyeballs. There might be others watching. And Dan. And Smurglio. And Ruby and Pearl and Jake. Oh, those are my animals that are not here right now. But someday they'll be back. But until then, big kisses and love to all you guys. Love you. Thank you again so much. I am Hollis, and I will see you next time. Here's the closing song. Here we go. Oh, bye. Bye.
Thank you for watching Hollis-tics, hosted by me, Hollis Mahady. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. You can make a one-time donation or become a member for just a few dollars a month to get extra podcasts and exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. Or simply scan the code on the screen. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating independent content for you. If you like the music featured in this show, I license it through Epidemic Sound. You can head over to hollismahady.com, click on the podcast page, and use my link for a free trial. And don't forget to check out VOPUSARadio.com, where I host my music channel and am building a growing community of independent musicians. If you're interested in joining the network, just click Join Network and submit an application. Until next time, remember that you are loved and never alone. From human to human, big hugs. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro video. I love this song.
Lights shining from the window late at night. I'm just watching someone else's life go by, wishing it was mine. Dreams, everybody has them at the start. Somewhere along the way they fall apart, and it makes it kinda hard to look up at the lights. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. When you wish upon a star just to find out it's a plane. And when you think you've come so far, but you're standing still again, and you finally understand. When the lights go out, everything is clear. When the lights go out, I could finally see. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I could finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Hope, try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't.